right there. You're looking live at Larry Phillips as he shows his true colors.
Hi, folks. Larry Phillips here. Kirk Conrad. John Spencer, the Dean of the Ohio State beat for, I don't even know,
34 years.
Forever. We have Effie James and Carl Hunnell here. We're all just reacting to the Ohio State-Michigan game today. Thank you for joining us. It's Shop Small, Shop Local, Small Business Saturday. And we're doing our part by giving away some gifts. We'll give away a gift every quarter to anybody that chimes in, asks a question, whatever. You're eligible to be a recipient of either a lamp or some pint glasses there, a hat, this flag. We're going to give something away every quarter, and we're trying to do our part for Shopping Local with Best of Fasta Pizza, Stewart's Root Beer, some Jones Chips, Relax Coffee, and we're just here to have some fun. So thanks for joining us, and away we go.
Is dinner with Kurt one of the...
It is a treat, I can assure you.
Well, we're 30 to 60 seconds behind, Zach tells me, so everybody else is going to know what happens 30 to 60 seconds before we do.
I remember that tunnel and how narrow it is. And remember, we go into the locker room. I mean, the locker rooms are right across from each other.
Right.
If Ohio State opens their locker room door, it's looking right
into
They
Michigan's.
can look right into each other's locker rooms.
Yep.
And it's like, it's unbelievable. More stuff hasn't happened.
It seems like every
In the
year
tunnel.
they have a camera up there and they can show them shouting at each other constantly. Michigan's in all blue. I've seen that in the rivalry before. Snow on the ground. You think that affects Ohio State's passing game, John?
Man, I wouldn't think so. It doesn't look like it's that bad.
I think they're going to have to run the ball today. Michigan plays much better pass defense than Michigan State. I'll be surprised if Henderson doesn't get like 20, 25 carries today.
That's up to Ryan Day, though.
Yeah,
you
he
know?
he likes to pass. I mean,
Yeah,
he is.
even when Trey Sermon was butchering Northwestern there at the Big Ten championship game, he didn't want to.
He just has that mentality, and that's kind of the mentality that, I know I'm getting off track here, but that Stefanski has in Cleveland. Even though he's got Nick Chubb and Hunt, and he still likes to throw. You look at the stats after a game; it's usually a lot more passes than runs. Even though people say they're a running team, but
They should be a running team.
But he's aggressive. Brian Day's aggressive. He just.
Okay, before we get too far along, we do have one drinking game today.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
The first time and every time, Gus Johnson says, Haskell the Rascal.
We're drinking.
We're drinking. So
Whatever you got.
Join us at home. If you hear Haskell the Rascal, you got to take a drink. And just thinking about it, take a drink.
I didn't realize he did NFL games too.
You want water or pop or anything, John?
Oh, I'll grab a pop probably.
Well, by the way, we're very informal here today, so feel free to get up and move around your living room. We're just hanging out.
We might even burp. I don't know.
Spence, you've been around a minute. Do you ever remember 3 receivers who were flirting with 1,000 yards? I mean, one of them's already there.
Yeah.
And I mean, 2 more are probably going to get there. I mean, that's unheard of, right?
I think it's never been done, has it? I think
Not
I
that
read.
I know of.
I was looking. They've only had 5 1,000-yard receivers prior to this year.
I think it's
And
crazy
3 of
that
them
they
could
don't
be in-
have.
I mean, they could have 3 in one season.
I think it's crazy they don't have anybody up for the Blitnikoff Award.
Right.
Yeah, I tweeted
But-
about that.
You know, well, you got 3 guys.
They're
They probably
splitting
all
the numbers.
cancel each other out. I don't. But still, I would have. I don't know.
Well, their receiving core is so good. Alabama's top receiver left Ohio State because he couldn't start.
Exactly.
I spoke to Chioke Bradley last night at Arlen Field. They were hosting a D1 state semifinal, and he had gone down to Michigan State last week, largely because Angelo Gross is a starting safety for Michigan State. And for those people who don't know, Angelo led senior high to the state championship game in 2019. That seems like an awful lot longer ago than 2 years. But and he's a starter, and you know, Angelo was pretty down afterwards, and Choke told him, he said, you know, you're not the only safety in the country who's going to be made to look bad against those guys. I mean, those are they're all pros, right? I mean, that's what they're all
Oh
first
yeah,
rounders.
they're all first rounders.
I'm still surprised Olave hasn't had. I mean, he's had a great year, but I just assumed with him coming back, first I was surprised that he came back.
Yeah, me too.
Right.
And then when he came back, I assumed that, you know, he was going to have a big year, which I guess he is. But it's just like he's a regular guy.
Yep.
In this crew. So
He seems like he's fallen to number 3.
right.
Yeah, he
right.
has.
He's like the possession receiver.
Right.
I don't know.
Of this group.
You've coached. Effie, does that mean that you're putting your best guy on Olave, and that is the impact of that, or?
Well, I think for Ohio State anyway, I think they're big play guys, and Olave's still a big play guy, but you know he's a guy that draws a lot of attention, so it allows guys like you know the other two to get open all over the field because they know he's the type of player like he's gonna make a play. These two, Garrett Wilson, he most likely make a play, but we know Olave can make a play, so we gotta have eyes on him.
That catch he made last week near the goal line, where he had to kind of go from one shoulder over to the other side. I mean,
That's the best catch
that's
I've
one of
seen
the
him
best
make.
Yeah, it's
catches
so
I've seen. I
weird.
mean, it's unbelievable.
It's so many of C.J. Stroud's passes seem like they're going to be overthrows, and they're right on target. I mean, that one he threw to Olave last week, I go, oh, that's going to be over his head, but it wasn't. I'm like,
Well, they talk about tracking the football. They do it a lot for DBs, but receivers, these guys do it as well as any receivers I've seen. Like
Tracking a
lot-
football?
I mean, a lot of receivers can catch a ball that's thrown to them.
Yeah.
But these guys track the ball
Yeah, you're
well.
right.
They go after it. They can adjust, turn their head while the ball's in the air. That's difficult to do.
Zach, one of the feedbacks I got is that it sounds really low. People can't hardly hear.
see, I think one of the
There's Burke. Somebody said he's not even playing.
See, I think one of the keys is I'm just not that impressed with McNamara. I'm not impressed with any of the Big Ten quarterbacks outside of Stroud. I think they're very pedestrian.
Yeah.
The whole league this year, outside of Ohio State, there just isn't a dynamic offense.
Well, they were
At
showing
all.
pregame him doinking the ball off his offensive lineman's helmet.
Yeah, he just
Yeah.
reminds me of
Yeah.
like another Chad Henne type, you know, a game. I mean, not anything spectacular. He's not terrible. I just don't think.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
They're midfield already.
It's big. You know, if they can run the football,
Yep.
Yep.
it's
a game
It's going to be a
changer.
tough night.
Keep
because-
Ohio State off
Exactly,
offense off the
exactly.
field. I think that was Michigan State's plan too.
yeah.
We'll just run Kenneth Walker. It's like, well, all of a sudden you're down 21-0.
Right.
What is it Mike Tyson said? Everybody's got a game plan until you get punched in the mouth.
Right.
Ohio State's defense has gotten so much better.
There
since
you go.
Where's
Yeah,
he
but
going?
I don't know. I mean, a lot of that is the competition they faced. There's been a lot of bottom feeders. I mean, it's better, but the back seven still scares me.
Right.
And linebackers are nondescript. I don't know what's been going on.
Well, Steele Chambers wasn't even a linebacker
Yeah.
until August, and now he starts.
I mean, I was thinking about this the other day. We were so blessed to watch guys like Katzenmoyer and Hawk and Laurinaitis, and Spielman, and it's like the last few years, it's been like, I go back to '88, John Cooper's first year, and his linebackers were like Judah Herman and Andy Gerd.
Yeah.
That's what these groups the last few years have. I mean, not big on Tuff Borland or Pete Warner.
Yeah.
These guys just aren't your typical Ohio State.
Thank you for not being big on Pete Warner.
Impact linebackers. You know, where is that guy?
They haven't really. The only one in the last decade was Raekwon McMillan, that I would say is a kind of a true.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on.
They just haven't recruited it very well, evidently. That Browning kid never really panned
No.
out. He was a big 5-star.
Oh, blitz.
Third and short coming up.
I do like Burke in the backfield. He's going to be one of those latest in the line of cornerbacks,
Right.
Ohio State
Up,
cornerbacks.
pizza's here.
Oh,
As a
pizza.
true freshman, he's
Yeah,
solid.
he's good.
He's solid.
And Seven Banks is out again today.
Agree with
I
you.
don't
Like-
know. I don't know what it is, but he must have aggravated the same. He's just been hurt all year.
First down.
It's a first.
I don't know. What do you think of the D line? I guess we've become accustomed to seeing at
Yep.
least one or two great defensive ends.
Yep,
and
there's
I just- you
no
just don't
Chase
see it.
Young. There's no
Yeah.
Chase Young. There's no Bosa
Joey
brothers.
or Bosa, right?
Well, you have those two freshmen that came in this year, true freshmen. I don't think they
Right.
played like they thought they were going to.
I mean, Garrett's playing well inside, but
Yeah, they're better at tackle than they are at
right.
the end position. I mean,
Another blitz. Oh, there you go. Throw it to a tight end. He'll drop
they
it.
got the first down, huh?
Nah, they just threw it to a tight end and he dropped it. Burke played well right there.
Well, that snow is coming. It is coming down pretty good.
Man, it is really snowing. I don't remember it snowing like that in the Ohio State-Michigan game, John.
1950, Larry? Really?
Yeah,
Come on.
exactly. I don't remember it.
Are you implying that I do?
Spence covered that game. Oh, somebody got took out.
Holy cow. Who else went right down the field in their first drive against these guys recently?
Was it-
Purdue?
I don't remember.
Well, last week it was 7-7, right?
Yeah.
No, it was
No, it
49
was
nothing
never-
at
it was-
halftime.
no.
Oh, well, it's close.
I'm trying to think. Maybe it was Nebraska that went down the field on them.
I don't remember. Making it look easy.
Harbaugh looks like his offense looks like the one he coached at Stanford now.
Yeah.
Did they win the
Big.
toss, Michigan?
I don't know.
'Cause
I think it would have been good strategy for him to take the ball for this very reason.
Yep, that's why I was wondering who won it. Because either team, I would have wanted my offense on the field first. 'Cause Ohio State's, they don't play from behind very often. What was this rumor going around about C.J. Stroud
Yeah,
having mono?
Stroud's out, Burke's out.
Yeah, I kept-
somebody else too is supposed to be out today. It's like every year that rumor comes up. Oh,
Really?
their star player's out.
Does anybody have COVID toe like Aaron Rodgers? That's the strangest thing I've ever seen in a press conference this week. Aaron Rodgers literally
Taking off his
lifted
shoe and
his
sock.
bare foot to show that he doesn't have COVID toe.
I think that's the only thing Baker Mayfield doesn't have. Now it's a groin injury with him. It's like,
Groin injury.
yeah.
I think
Yeah.
he loves to
Made
show
him
how
alone.
tough he is, but at some point, isn't there a coach out there who should protect him from himself? You know, I mean, you gotta not let a guy go out there who's hurt, who's
Yeah,
not.
He doesn't
maybe-
get to make the choice though. That's why
I don't know what.
And I feel like I like Baker. I do. I liked him when they drafted him. I liked him as number one. I felt like he was great for the Browns then.
Right.
I thought he was perfect for them when they drafted him. As you look at this team, as they evolve and they've gotten more weapons and they've become what they are, it's like the team has kind of outgrown Baker.
Yeah.
Right.
To my, you know what I mean? Is what
That's
I
a good
think.
point.
But I don't know. Maybe he could, but the way I look at him, like the team is outgrown him, and now you can look at that team and say, man, are they a quarterback away? Maybe. But
Yeah.
I don't know.
But I don't know right now. What is their option? They're kind of
Yeah,
stuck.
Well, that's
It's
what they
like-
were talking about last year. Should they trade for Aaron Rodgers? And I thought,
You could have.
If you're a Browns
I'm not
fan-
mortgaging my future for a guy who's maybe
yeah,
got
but
2
if
years left.
Baker's your ceiling and your ceiling can't do any more than get you to the playoffs, then maybe you got to take your shot. I don't know
It
if
would
he is or
depend
not.
how much he would cost because I'm thinking
It'd
2 or
probably cost
3
Baker and a pick.
at least. You're talking about 2 or 3 first-round picks probably.
Well, he's a
Green Bay's.
40-year-old guy.
I know, but
That's why I don't know how high the cost
Newsflash,
would
guys,
be.
Green Bay's not trading Aaron Rodgers. As a owner, I got one share of stock.
A stockholder.
1997, we're not trading
I
Aaron
mean, he can walk after next year, so you might as well. If the Browns want to do
He
that,
can't walk. He's got COVID. So he can limp.
I mean, their best option is just to, they've already picked up the option on Baker for his 5th year for $18 million,
Then
so
they
he's
could
not costing a
franchise him
lot.
if they
Then they
want.
could franchise him, but even if they want to move on after next year, then Aaron Rodgers is a free agent. Then you don't have to give up anything.
And he's 42.
except- No, he's only 37.
Isn't he? How old is he?
37, 30.
Oh, well.
So we have, say he's got 5 years left if he keeps himself in good shape. I don't know. He would have 4 years left
He needs a
after
haircut.
that.
Aaron needs to cut his hair.
But some of the-
He's looking bad.
Oh,
That's a
right through the
mistake.
hole,
What are we doing?
Holy cow.
right through the line.
They're getting pushed around right now.
Man.
Yeah, they are. Blown right
pushed
off the
around.
ball.
You don't even have to put the ball up.
Right there.
It's a
Yeah.
miss.
And again, where are the linemen? I mean,
Yep,
Right.
you
that's
go
your
right from the
safety
defensive
right
line
there.
to the secondary.
But
But
who's
look who's
52?
linebackers. They're like
52
little
throws
corners.
an arm
Yeah.
at him.
Well, they play that stupid.
this
What do they call it? The bullet, where guys
Yeah.
like a hybrid linebacker. That doesn't work. These guys are getting pushed around.
Well, not against somebody's pounding you like
you
this.
look at the formation. They're in 2 back with
Uh-oh.
a tight end.
Well, our feed
Oh,
broke,
we're
but
buffering.
that looks like that could go for 6.
Oh, that doesn't
That looks
look
good. Nobody's out there. either.
No. Can't see the bottom, but
The one corner's got his back turned.
see how it turns. 4 guys.
I'm going to assume this did not turn out well.
Right. I mean, the way it looks now, it does not look good.
We lost our feed, folks.
That does not look good. Looks like the safety could, if he comes hard, he could
Let's see,
make
that
a
was at the
play.
14-yard line.
Yeah, he could make a play if he comes down hard, but everybody else is in terrible position. I don't know. We might come back and the band will be playing. I don't know.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Yep,
There's
he
the
scored.
band's playing.
You could tell that was
Right.
going to happen. Huh?
Really? Wow.
Yep, that went for the touchdown right there.
That looked good.
Jeez. That's crazy.
What is that? Let's see.
You know,
That went for a touchdown. That play went for a touchdown.
well, they get in that power formation. They got a tight end, two backs, and then they go misdirection into the boundary. That's,
Yep.
Defense has got to be on top.
10 plays, 75 yards. No problem.
Man.
Now I think that's Michigan's only path really is to establish a running game. They certainly did on that drive. Holy smoke.
What they can't have now is Ohio State come out and 3 and out or
Right.
something like that.
Yeah,
They've got to, like you said, Carl, they've got to establish the run themselves.
Yep.
But this is where I think sometimes Ryan Day gets a little, you know, he's always been aggressive, but sometimes he can get a little pass happy.
Because Michigan's got a very good pass rush, like 2 All-American type defensive ends. They're zoning up in the secondary. They're not playing the man-to-man anymore.
This seems like a Kate Stover day, but 2 tight end stuff.
I
The
don't
stay
know
home
that
and kind
Ryan
of
Day
chip on
knows.
guys.
I don't know if Ryan Day remembers very often he has tight ends in his offense. I mean, they don't throw the ball to the tight end very much.
That's been the case for years.
Yeah.
They always talk about doing it, but I mean, Ruckert's pretty good.
Yeah, I mean,
Receiver.
Rutgers probably going to play on Sunday.
Oh yeah, he'll
But
be in the NFL.
what's he get at Ohio State? About 3 targets every 2 weeks?
Well, he's the 4th option, and really he should be. You know, when you're throwing to those other guys. So
I wonder why Stover was wearing 19 today.
He was?
He's
I
bouncing
saw his
back and
mom
forth.
on Facebook put that Cade's wearing 19.
Yeah, he's been 8.
Which is what he
he
was in high
lost a
school, I
feed
believe.
again.
This may be a good thing.
Yeah, right.
Miss out on all
Come back
those
when we're winning.
Michigan
Yeah.
touchdowns. Yeah.
They blacken it out in Ohio every time Michigan scores.
He's, I don't know, I just went on ESPN.com and I've still got the Duke Gonzaga game up from last night.
How'd that turn out?
84-81 Duke.
It's a good game, though.
Yeah.
Really good game.
Gonzaga's got that 7-foot freshman that like dribbles behind his back.
Right.
Yeah, he's supposed to be the #1 pick in the draft
I'm
next
telling
year.
you, Duke has got a gang of pros. I mean, I know they always do, but all those kids are pros. Man. Those kids can play.
Yeah, that drive, Michigan passed for 20, rushed for 38.
No, rushed for 58, wasn't it?
I'm not updated. I'm looking at their leading rusher.
I didn't even know they passed for it. I'm trying to think who they.
They had a couple of those little short dump-off things. There you go.
There it is. Chad Henning, 14-yard touchdown. Oh, wrong Henning.
You got to field it.
Oh, jeez.
You called fair catch. All right.
Lost it in the snow.
Where's Harbaugh going? He's leaving already?
They complain about the refs. They're winning.
%86%.
400 yards.
That's unbelievable. I don't
Yeah,
care
I don't
care who you're
that's-
playing.
Yeah, you can't.
That's unbelievable.
That was against 2 ranked teams.
Yeah.
I mean,
Wait a minute. Ohio State got the ball at the 4?
So he did not fair catch it.
Well,
They
you didn't
were
get
waiting
tackled.
for it.
Holy cow!
Well, this
Yeah,
couldn't
fumbled
have
the
gone
snap.
much worse.
Wow.
An
wait a minute.
inauspicious beginning.
Right.
To say the least.
Like
He
the,
called fair catch. They didn't tackle him.
Right.
I don't know what happened.
Damn lucky he didn't turn it over.
Right,
Right.
right.
That'll get the quarterback's attention in a hurry.
he got a yard out of it, though.
Second 9.
We're in 5 wides.
Here comes a blitz.
Oh, geez.
Jeez, Al. How could he not read that, Ev? I mean, that guy didn't even disguise it.
Well, I think he did. He just I mean, he went to the right place. He just threw it high. He just that's where he had to go with it.
Well, that was Stroud earlier in the year. Everything was high.
Right.
Everything was high. He gets nervous, or was getting
He
nervous.
saw it. He just threw it high.
I don't know if it was a shoulder back then because you watch
Uh-huh.
Mayfield now. All his stuff is high.
Oh,
with the Rams.
Jiminy.
Well, that was not a good offensive
No.
beginning. Fumble, incomplete.
Boy. There's no way he's
They've-
nowhere near open.
That wasn't even. What?
Yeah, I don't know what he was doing.
He's throwing to the Michigan bench.
I think that offensive lineman said, dude, you had some time. You had a pocket. Let's not get happy back there.
Well, he's trying to go back shoulder, but I don't
I don't
they
think
had two guys near
that was
him.
necessary in that
Right.
situation.
Well, the problem is they didn't give Henderson the ball in that series.
Exactly.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Jeez. Short field again.
Be good to see how they respond, man. They haven't seen anything like this.
I know. If they fall behind 14-0,
Right.
Yeah, you're right. Not even running the ball
Right.
at
Not at
all.
all.
on
Off
that
their
first-
goal line, too.
Right.
What the hell?
Jeez, it's like
Well, Henderson, you give it to him, he'll get you a first down.
Right.
That's not being aggressive. That's being reckless.
Right. They were an empty the whole
Ryan
all
Day,
3 plays.
Ryan Day tried to show he's the smartest guy in the room, you know.
Yeah, well.
Another
See.
blitz.
All day to
Picked it up.
throw.
Oh
No
my
one in
gosh.
the area code.
jeez.
They picked up the blitz every time.
Right. Well, who's going to make a play? That's defense.
Right.
You got to have somebody who's going to step up and make a play because
There it is.
Okay!
Good call, good call,
There it
Effie.
Game-saving play right there. 'Cause if
Effie
they
James
score-
on the call.
Absolutely.
Somebody
Yep.
make a play.
well, somebody has to.
One of their worst defensive backs.
Yeah,
I was gonna say,
that's
I'm
Garrett
not-
Shaw, wasn't it?
Jeez.
What a monster
You know, the
play.
internet is the World Wide Web. You know that.
Terrible throw.
Well, and I felt like especially when the guy said, he said, look, this is where I go after him. Well, look, there's still, great DBs back there.
Right.
So somebody does have to make a play. That's a big one. Like you said, Larry, that's a game changer right
Yep.
Man.
there. Now, I guarantee you they go Henderson
You would think
first
at
and
least,
second
at
down.
least once. Yeah.
Got to. In fact, if I'm Travion, I come in the huddle and say,
Right.
listen,
I don't
know
care what
the
you call.
play is.
I
Give
get
me
the ball.
Give me the ball.
That's right. That's right.
I didn't come all this way just for you not to give me the ball against
Right. I
Michigan.
didn't hardly play last week.
That's like LeBron in the huddle with Blatt. Blatt draws up the play
Oh,
for
yeah,
Kyrie.
yeah.
Goes, just
No,
inbound
no,
the ball to me.
Just give me the ball.
He was never paying attention. He's like,
Good play, coach. Ready, break. Give me the ball.
Oh,
Sigh of relief.
yeah, that was huge.
Man.
McNamara looked like McNamara on that
Right,
play.
right.
bad quarterbacks.
Coach killers.
He's not that guy. Like, he's not the guy that can stand in the pocket, throw inside the hash mark. I don't think he's that guy. He can complete the swing passes on early downs, but he's not going to stand in and beat you inside the hash marks with those
Yeah.
type, especially not in the red zone.
Well, Michigan's been a team that's pounded the ball
Right.
Exactly.
Right.
He's kind of out of character.
Yeah.
Right. I think they felt that momentum, like they were saying.
That's what
but-
Clapp was saying. Oh, we got to go,
Right,
go
right.
for the kill
Gotta
right
take
down.
the shot.
Right.
Why? You're on the
Joel.
15.
Sometimes guys outthink themselves, it seems like.
Right.
Let's see. You didn't stop the run the last series. Let's just throw it.
What? Thank you.
Yeah, I'll have that. That was a nice pick. I mean, he had to
Yeah.
reach up, get it. Didn't come right to him. He had to make a good play.
Denzel Burke might have picked it behind him. It was that
Right.
poorly
Yeah,
thrown.
he was all over.
I might have been the first play Shaw made all year. Jeez. It's like, what
Man,
the-
Spence, you don't like this guy.
Remember when
He's not Donnie Nicky.
I was just going to say
that.
that. Who was the defensive coordinator? We'd be sitting in the press box, and you could hear the coaches right next door, and I swear every other phrase was, "God damn it,
Oh,
Nicky!"
it was Tim Salem. He was right behind us.
He was the quarterback's coach.
No, but at one point he was like DB's coach.
I don't remember that.
But
And-
was he
You
the
could
one
hear
that
him
started-
screaming.
Oh
at
no,
Nicky.
I know who it was. Oh yeah, who was that defensive coordinator? He went to West Virginia or Marshall from Ohio State. Oh, I can't think of his name, but that one game we're sitting down, Larry and I are down there. He goes, Nicky! He's
Thought he was
screaming.
gonna have a
It's like,
stroke.
well, one of them pounded the glass and broke
Broke the. That was
Salem. That
the
Salem.
guy you're thinking of from West Virginia. It might have been Salem, but I was thinking of the.
Yeah, shattered the
he
glass
was the
behind
offensive
us.
coordinator.
Pounding on the glass, but yeah, I
Yeah.
remember him screaming at Nicky.
Was that the guy? Was that the guy that launched the website Donnie'sNickySucks.com?
And he played how many years in the NFL?
I know.
Nobody could figure it out.
He made that last play in the
In the national
national
championship.
championship, knocked that ball down. People complained because he didn't
And
intercept it.
intercepted, right.
See, there you go. They ran the ball with Henderson. Now you got a
Right.
receiver open. You got a
Yeah,
first
got
down.
First down.
Kinda
Calm
loosens
down a
things
little
up.
bit.
There you go.
All right, settle into the game. man.
Oh, how was that not a late hit?
Seems like awful late.
Come on. Still snowing.
Big time.
It's like it's just blowing around.
Right,
So
right.
it's not really.
It's a
First down.
So, what's his face is hurt today again? The third string back, running back,
Oh yeah, Master Teague.
Master Teague. I
Yeah.
don't know, we were just talking about that during the break. It was what's going on with him, and Seven Banks is always hurt.
Yeah. I don't know what Master Teague's problem is. He just had 100 yards last week.
And what was Harry Miller? He's been out all year.
Yeah.
Why haven't they said what's going on with him? Why don't they just say he's out for the year?
There you go.
Oh, keep your feet.
Get out of there.
Henderson was one of those guys when you watched his high school film. I mean, when
Nobody tackled
well,
him?
Right, nobody tackled him. But you hear a lot of people say, "Man, he was so good in high school." And you look at the film, and yeah, he's better than the guys he played.
Oh,
Uh-oh.
get out of there.
What's he?
Now he's loose.
Oh,
But Henderson was one of those guys. When you watched him, he's infinitely better
Right.
than everybody else on the field. Those are the guys that play big time football. And when you watched his high school videos, that's who he was.
Jeez. He didn't even play the first series of the game.
what's that, Effie?
He wasn't even in the first
Yeah.
series of the game.
Yeah, I know.
Unbelievable. On your own goal line.
Right.
Probably lucky they didn't turn it over down there. They were
Right.
lucky they didn't turn it
Right.
over with Stroud getting
Oh,
hit
my
at the
gosh.
snap.
Look
Well,
at
they've
that
gone
hole.
the same play every time, huh?
This is
That's
Mayan
the other one.
Williams
It's Mayan
now.
Williams, isn't it?
They evidently like their right tackle on that matchup. I don't know which one of Michigan's defensive ends is on that side.
They keep moving
None,
them, don't
apparently.
Do they bounce them around?
they? I think so.
I think the good kid plays to the field all the time, though. I think
Hutchinson?
that's how Hutchinson plays to the field.
Then they're running away from him, right? Because they're
Right.
running in the boundary.
Right. Jeez, that is power.
That kid's a bowling ball.
Yeah, he is.
Now, who's he remind me of? I'm trying to think about that the other day.
Butler by Note.
No.
No, this guy's too powerful.
Yeah, this
Butler
guy's,
was more of a
this
scat
guy's,
back.
Scotty Graham's who he reminds me of.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mine
Yeah.
Williams.
John Brockington.
Don Nottingham. The
You guys.
human bowling ball.
Talk about the old guys. here.
Tom Matty. Or John Matty.
Don Nottingham. See, people are like, okay, we're turning this off. He's talking about Don
I didn't log on to
Nottingham.
do
We don't
an
know who
almanac.
that is.
Jeez. Already
Get this
talked-
old fart off the set.
Todd Nottingham.
Already talked about the 1950 game.
Yeah, which I covered.
First year on the beat.
I don't even know. I might have been well into my
You and Wes Fessler.
Coach, why'd you punt the ball?
Wes Fessler. Oh my gosh.
That would have been Jim Tressel's favorite game, 45 punts.
No. My gosh.
Let's get the playoff here.
What would he have done with this crew?
Let's go.
Oh, jeez.
What do we got?
That's
Touchdown.
There we go.
Oh!
He dropped it. Is that a Lave? Come
Catch the
on.
ball.
That's a tough one.
Boy, I don't know that I like him throwing it.
I know,
3
man.
yard.
It just
Right.
gets so cute down here.
Yeah.
It's behind him. That's a bad throw for him.
But he's got to catch that.
Yeah,
he's
he
got it.
dropped it. It wasn't a hit or anything.
He's had a few drops.
I
this
know.
year.
I've
I don't
noticed
know
that
what's
too.
going on with him this year.
I think you saw 4 coming.
But it wasn't a perfect pass. But yeah, that's something he would normally catch.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's had a few this year. It's like, what's going on?
It's not
Now
that
you're almost
cute.
forced to throw.
Right, right.
This will be a Stroud run
Yeah,
for the first time all year.
Not
They're not
this-
expecting that.
Not in this or any other lifetime.
Okay,
Jeez.
I was gonna say, but
Let's hope the whistle blew. He was going to get killed.
Offsides, Ohio State.
Give him more room to pass.
Procedure.
That might actually help them a little
Yeah.
more space down there because they're going to have to throw.
This is where Ruckert runs that option route in the corner route in the end zone normally. But I still don't like that
Do they have a
ran
tight
through
end on the
football.
field?
I don't
There
see
he
him.
is.
Yeah,
there
he's
he is.
on
Oh,
the
there
left
he is.
side. They got trips to the top.
Yep.
They'll run an option route.
You must think the ball's going to.
Rucker to the left.
That's
I
where he
think
was
They were
looking.
all over.
They had 2 guys
They
over
were all
there.
over.
Nothing.
Yeah, they were all over.
First and goal at the 5, and they end up at the 13.
Right.
That's red zone.
I mean, they had 3 guys get hands on him right away.
Whoa.
Yeah.
It's a lookout block from DeJuan Jones.
Yeah.
Look out.
He got beat inside too. That sucks.
Again, no running plays once they got to the 5.
Yeah.
Right?
Just gets too
Just-
cute down there, man. I don't understand
Got it.
This guy's been good.
Yeah.
Quietly
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
under the radar, he's
He's
been.
up for the, was it the Groza?
Is he really?
Yeah.
He's solid.
Well,
Yeah, I
didn't he
know he's only
play-
missed one.
Didn't he play somewhere else before he came here? I mean, he's like exhausted. Or
Is he
like
30 years old?
He's a transfer from somewhere. I don't know
Yeah.
how much eligibility he has left,
I
though.
think this is it. I think he's like a graduate student.
Anything to give away, Zach?
No, just people saying go Bucks and come on defense.
Okay.
But, let people know that they can ask you guys any questions.
Yeah, feel free to ask Spence. He's been here since
I'm sure I'll have the wrong
Chick
answer.
Harley and Francis Schmidt.
Yeah.
Chick Harley. It's me and Kate.
You would have been in the press box with Kay Kessler.
Oh yeah. Somebody said he's still alive.
Really?
He was old when I started.
There's some 25-year-old kid saying the same thing about you last year,
you?
Spence. Man, that Spence guy, jeez.
Okay. Noah Ruggles is a graduate transfer from the University of North Carolina. He has 1 year of eligibility left after this season.
Noah Ruggles.
2019, he was 5th in the ACC in scoring with 102 points.
Speaking of the ACC, how about the year Brennan Armstrong?
Oh my God.
Brennan Armstrong's having a year.
Man.
He missed the Notre Dame game. That was
I know.
like his chance to introduce himself to a national audience, and he
They
was
said,
out.
yeah. I mean, they were more interested in him being healthy to try to get to the ACC championship game.
right.
So I figure if we're going to sit him, let's sit him for this game because this doesn't factor in the. But yeah, I really wanted to see him against Notre
Me
Dame.
too.
You know, everything got so
No, I-
weird
Yeah,
with the
well,
with
since
the
COVID
year.
doesn't
Yeah.
count
I think he's
for
a
anybody.
senior, isn't he?
So
He's
I don't think
I
so.
think you get an extra year because of COVID.
Right.
Oh yeah.
And he redshirted his freshman year.
But if he comes out right now, I think is it oh, what's his face from ESPN? Mel
Piper.
Kiper's got him like number 6 quarterback.
that right?
Really?
Yeah, I mean he's moving up the charts
Wow.
fast.
He's a tough kid.
Mhm.
When he was junior in high school, I covered a game. He shook my hand, about took it off. It's like, geez.
Yeah, he started as a freshman at Shelby. I think that was
Oh, I
maybe
covered-
Eric
I-
Will's first year was
I remember
Brennan's
covering him as a
freshman year.
freshman and thinking, man, this kid's got an arm.
Yeah, he certainly did. And they struggled early. I mean, it took them a while to kind of grow into it, but
I remember watching him as a freshman.
Yeah.
I don't remember seeing a kid, no matter what year he is, the arm that this kid had.
I mean, as a junior, they lost in the regional final and then to Steubenville, and then the following year they were in a different region and lost to Steubenville again in the
Yeah.
state semifinals.
I don't know what happened in Minnesota, why that didn't work out, why you ended up decommitting.
Yeah, I'm not sure because
Eric Will told me one time, Brennan said, what's the guy in Minnesota, PJ Fleck?
PJ Fleck.
He said Armstrong described him as a guy who is like, it's like dating a girl with really strong perfume. After a little while, it just kind of wears on you.
well, there you go.
Oh, I am using that. That's good.
And I had heard something about maybe he brought in another quarterback when he had promised.
don't
that
know.
he
I'm not
wasn't.
sure. Well, I mean, I was looking forward to it because Jornell Mans had committed
Right.
Right.
to Minnesota too, and I thought, man, how fun is that going to be? Two
Did he
Richland
st-
County
did-
guys.
Did he stay at Minnesota? He's still there, isn't he?
He
He's not playing.
Well,
but-
yeah, he had to kind of retire, I guess.
Yeah, he's
right?
had a
I mean,
couple
he
injuries.
But I think
tore
he's
his
still in
ACL.
school there, isn't
Actually,
he?
he tore his ACL
Jeez.
at senior high playing
Yeah.
basketball, and then the surgery. I don't know if it didn't work out well or. But yeah, he had to retire. Jornell did. You know, it's kind of a. I mean, it's kind of a golden era for high school football here in Richland County.
No
We got
question.
a lot of guys who are playing on Saturday afternoons, and I wouldn't be surprised to see some of them playing on Sunday afternoon. Quite frankly, I
Sounds
mean,
like Brennan obviously is going
yeah,
to.
I think Angelo Gross has a real good chance. I mean, we talked about a little bit about it. He had kind of a rough week last week, but I mean, Mel
Who
Tucker
hasn't
seems
this
really
season?
high on him, and I mean Tyrell Agent. I don't know what this situation is there.
Third and short.
Man, they blitzed again and don't get there.
Don't get
They blitz from so far away on those
Right.
2 and 3 step drops. What's the point?
That's a McNamara game right there, 5 for 7.
That's what I was going to say. If he's going to
49
stay
Yeah,
on
right.
schedule, he's
Yeah.
going to be very effective.
yards, averaging 7 yards a pass.
Yeah, just don't throw it downfield.
Right.
Right.
Make a play.
Nope.
Missed him.
Right up the middle, too.
Missed him again.
Ay, we haven't had a Haskell the Gaskell, the Haskell the Rascal reference yet.
That's it. No more
Make,
root beer for you.
make,
You are cut off.
make a play so we can drink. Boy, Simon got washed away, didn't he? Jeez.
Shoved right out of the way.
Is that bullet linebacker?
Yes.
Yeah.
I thought it was 30 got
pounds.
shoved out of the way too. We weren't sure Simon was going to play. Still not sure he is.
I have
Yeah.
no idea how to
Is he playing?
I have no idea how to pronounce his name, so I'm not going to try. But that freshman, 44, who
Yeah.
came
Yeah.
in August, he's in the game in DN now. He's played more than the kid from Central Ohio. that
Yep.
Came in.
Sawyer.
yeah.
Yeah.
I've been really disappointed in Zach Harrison. He just never developed as that next great defensive end.
Nope.
He has flashes of brilliance, but yeah, he just never really lived up to the hype.
I know they're talking about him leaving early. It's like, to do what?
Yeah. I mean, maybe at the
Is he gonna be
next
an
level.
ODOT driver?
I mean, I think he'll play at the next level, but he just hasn't lived up to the. I mean, obviously the abilities there and his size and everything else, but I don't know what hasn't panned out.
And I don't get Harbaugh bringing in different quarterbacks like that. When he brings a guy in for it cost him the game.
Against Michigan State.
Yeah, Michigan State.
Right.
Yeah, they did that
It was a
last
big
week.
fumble.
Michigan's
Bad
undefeated
fumble.
without that.
Right.
There, he finally filled.
There we go.
Well, I think like we were talking about, these defenses are getting so small. You look at these teams now; they'll line up with the tight end, put a tight end in the backfield, go power football, and
Right.
you're just too small. You know, they're there; they're just too small a lot of times. And that's what Michigan's done this whole game. They're lining up with their tight end or two tights or tight end and two backs.
This doesn't look any different than what they've done all year.
Right,
I
right,
don't
true.
understand why it's
Right.
so overwhelming.
This might be one of the first times where Michigan might be better up front. You know, they just might be better up front.
Well, Ohio State's got to get off the field now.
Right.
Well, they didn't get home that time either on the blitz, but they at least made him throw it before he wanted to.
Right. You know, it's fun to. I mean, I'm not a huge college football fan, largely because of last week when it's 28-0 at the end of the first quarter.
Right,
I mean, I'd like to be entertained for 4 quarters instead of one. I mean, it's fun to see him play a game that maybe is
Absolutely.
at least going to
Absolutely.
be a game into the second half here.
All right, guys, listen, we got a question from Jessica Heiser from Lansing.
Yes.
I know her.
What's everyone's favorite memory from the OSU Michigan matchup? We'd love to hear personal stories, amazing plays, etc.
Spence, you've got more reference than any of us.
Favorite memory? I probably have to go back to the very first game I covered in 1987 at Michigan. And that was a crazy week because Earl Bruce was basically, he was fired. I think they didn't want to announce it until, as coach, they didn't want to announce it until after the game, but it got out because the athletic director, Rick Bay, did not agree with the decision and he was stepping down. So the whole thing got out that Earl was going to be fired. So he was coaching the game as a lame duck coach. He went up to Michigan. They won the game. The Buckeyes carried them off the field on their shoulders, and they were all wearing Earl headbands that said Earl in all caps underneath their helmets, and that was, that's a fantastic memory. I mean, there's been a lot of great memories, but that would probably be my favorite one.
1968. I was 7 years old. We were living in Georgia, but my father was from Ohio. He was in the Navy. We lived in South Georgia. And he was not somebody that got happy very often. I mean, he didn't smile a lot, but he was a big Buckeye fan. And they beat Michigan 50-14 because Woody Hayes just went for 2 late in the game. And the story is that Woody said afterward, "Why'd you go for 2?" And he said, "Because I couldn't go for 3." And I remember how happy my father was in 1968. I was 7 years old. And he was ecstatic. And then, of course, 69, he was the exact opposite.
I think most Buckeye fans would probably say their greatest memory is the 2006 game when it was number
Yeah,
one
I
Ohio
was going to
State
say six.
Right.
6.
against number 2 Michigan in 42-39.
Right.
Just a classic.
That was a great game, and it was 1 versus 2, but both those teams got ripped in their next
Oh, I
game,
know.
and that just really took
Yeah.
a
Everyone
tarnish
thought they
off.
were going to play again for the national championship,
Yeah.
and it didn't pan out that way. And
Thank God.
Buckeyes lose 41-14. Jim Tressel kind of lost his head there. He's
He
going
was
for
going
it
for it
deep
on
in
4th and 1 at his own 28.
and
Like,
the-
what the hell is he doing?
It's like, well, that's right there. There's the ball game.
That was in the first half.
Yep. He
No,
just-
my favorite would be, I was telling people here in the office, this game was so important to me when I was a kid. Archie and the 10-year war was going on, and Archie was the guy in Central Ohio. And 1975, Ohio State was number 1 all season long. They go to Ann Arbor and have a start, kind of different than this, but they went down the field, scored on their first drive, and then the rest of the game was all Michigan. And Michigan's up 14-7 late in the 4th quarter. And Ohio State drives the length of the field, ties the game with like 2 minutes left. And I thought, well, their perfect season's going to be ruined, but at least they're going to get a tie and get to go to the Rose Bowl. And Rick Leach is a freshman quarterback from Michigan. Drops back to pass because Michigan has to win to go to the Rose Bowl. So Bo is passing. Rick Leach throws this pass over the middle. Ray Griffin, Archie's little brother, picks it off, returns it to the 3. Pete Johnson scores on the next play. Just a miracle comeback, really. Ohio State wins 21-14. That is my favorite memory. I was like 3rd grade, and it was a big deal.
All right, 3rd and 7.
Get off the field.
Make a play. Blitzed again. Got there.
Get there. Okay. Finally.
Here's your guy. What's his? He's
Is
a
that
bullet
Steel
linebacker.
Chambers?
Yeah. The one who got manhandled by the
I was just gonna say-
offensive tackle before.
Great name for a linebacker, though.
Yeah.
Oh,
So weird though. I remember. Maybe I'm like a coach. I remember the losses more than I remember.
Yeah,
the
I was gonna say that.
Yeah.
Like 2011, the last time they lost. We were talking about
Yep.
this before the telecast, down on the field at the end of the game, and Braxton Miller throws that pass, just the long pass, just over the fingertips of DeVere Posey. That would have been the winning touchdown pass, and they end up losing 40-34. I mean, I'm standing right there when the ball goes right over his fingertips.
Right.
If he catches that, whole different scenario. And then, of course, the game ends with Courtney Avery, our own local Courtney Avery,
Lexington's
making the,
own.
game-sealing interception
Right.
on the field. So
I mean, the Charles Woodson game comes to mind. I mean, it's not a great memory,
Man,
but
I
I mean,
just ate pizza. You can make me throw up.
I mean that is absolutely burned into my memory.
yeah, all those Ohio guys, Charles Woodson,
Elvis
Desmond Howard,
Grubach, Desmond
doing the
Howard, yep.
Heisman pose,
You right?
John Colasar, who
Colasar.
I can't stand for multiple reasons. That's certainly one of them.
Rob Lytle. Yep.
Yeah, from Fremont.
Yeah, the losses definitely stick with
Yeah,
you.
I
Like
don't
I don't
know
know any Michigan running backs, but I'll never forget Biaka Batuka. That's the only
Oh, my goodness.
Michigan running back I know because he just flat out murdered us.
He's still a cult hero. Every
Because he's still running somewhere.
Yeah.
Right,
Every year
right.
when I go back to Michigan, he's in the parking lot. There's a high school parking lot across the
Right,
street.
right.
And he's got a little booth set up where he's signing autographs. This is
He's a
what?
hero.
Yeah, 25 years
Right.
later, he's still.
Well, when you rushed for 330 yards or whatever it was against Ohio State,
I just remember his
Make
first
your
name,
career.
Shimanga. I loved it.
You would think
Shimanga Biaka Batuka.
I mean, given the recent history of the rivalry, I mean, Courtney Avery could probably go set up a booth and sign autographs
yeah,
for the rest of his life up there too. I mean, there's a whole generation of people who don't know
Right.
what it's like to to lose against Michigan.
Yeah, we were talking about it before the telecast. It was so funny when Courtney makes that interception. Larry and I are down on the field. Larry grabbed him right on the field moments after the interception because I told him, I go, he may not end up going to the interview. He may not be one of the players they bring out. So Larry might have gotten an exclusive
The
interview.
only interview
I
with
got
Courtney
one
Avery.
quote before
They rushed him off.
Yeah, the field
Before
was
the Gestapo
engulfed.
came in and said,
Another flag. Man, this is a recipe for disaster too. Red zone problems, penalties, putting them behind schedule.
abandon
Just flat out abandoned.
the running game.
Right. I still say give the ball to the guy. 2nd and 12.
Yeah, they haven't proven they can stop him
Right.
yet. It's like, or Williams. It's just not, it's Brian Day, it's just not in his nature.
Yeah.
Even when he had a,
Patience is a virtue, and that's one virtue he doesn't.
Right?
when he had a
There you
tick-
go. There you go.
you
Got him
know.
in space.
Get it to him.
Attaboy. Okay.
There you go.
Is Henderson a true freshman?
Yes.
Yeah.
He didn't.
Didn't even
one
play
year, one
last
didn't
year.
play. Yeah, he didn't play high school last
Virginia
year.
didn't have football
Right.
last year.
Okay.
So he's
Yeah,
got
his last year of
he's got
football
fresh
is just high
legs.
school junior.
He's got-
Well, he carried about 9 times last week, so yeah, he's between that.
That's what kills me last week. Everybody said, well, Ohio State's defense stopped Kenneth Walker. Well, Michigan State's defense stopped Kenneth Walker. because he only got 6 carries.
Okay. Oh, I thought he caught it. That's 2 drops from these guys.
A little slippery in the
No
snow.
wonder they're not finalists for the Blitz Coffee. Can't catch the ball.
Yeah, that's
How many people today remember seeing the guy who that award's named for.
Wow, yeah.
Freddie Biletnikoff and the stick 'em all over
Stick 'em
him.
all in his arms and his legs and his socks.
Yeah, he was great.
They said, why do you put it on your legs? He goes, the ball might hit there.
Take it from the guy who already referenced Don Nottingham. Fred Biletnikoff was a great receiver.
Oakland Raiders.
I don't think Kent State's had a great football player since Nottingham.
Jack Lambert.
Oh, yeah.
They're playing for
I
a
stand
spot in the MAC
corrected.
title game today, I think, aren't
Huh?
they? Aren't they playing Miami for a spot in the MAC title game?
I think they are.
What do you got to be under? You got to be 500 to get the MAC title.
I know it's kind of wonky.
Don
this year.
James had some good teams at Kent
Yeah.
before he took off for Washington. Yeah, how do I forget Jack Lambert?
I don't think they're blitzing on this play, Effie.
Yeah, you got Hutchinson
Hutchinson's
coming off
standing
the edge.
up.
Yeah.
Might not.
I
Yeah,
was
there they
wrong.
are.
They are. Oh, jeez.
You get tipped?
Wow.
It looked like it was tipped.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is.
Yep.
Jeez.
Man, they get off schedule and they're a completely different team off schedule.
Well, maybe the guys in Vegas had it right. 7.5, 8 points.
Then it went down.
Yeah.
Right before kickoff, it was down to 6. So they were trying to speculate, why is the line moving so much? Maybe the snow.
Man, if Michigan controls the ball like this all game,
Well, I think as long as they keep it within the score, I think they'll be. If their defense can keep standing up, shots, he'll get it together. But their defense has got to hold up
Right.
against this running game. That's the big thing.
okay. Zach tells us we're live on Twitter. If anybody wants to retweet, our guys want to retweet.
You should retweet. You got the blue check mark and stuff. Yeah.
I've been trying to stay away from the phone, so I'm on schedule with what's happening with everybody else here. We're at richlandsource.com, right, Zach?
That's right.
I have somebody with a blue check mark named David Schuster who's already questioning the integrity of the officials. I'm serious. He calls himself a journalist. I don't know what he's a journalist for, but
Simon and Schuster.
Well, wait, is that fake news?
previously anchored for MSNBC.
That's all you need to know.
He has 83,000 followers.
Jeez.
What is he questioning the integrity of the officials?
Something about somebody from official was an Ohio State fan or something. I don't know.
Ohio State's getting all the calls so far.
We'd be up 21-0 if it wasn't for that.
Oh, it's terrible. He's doing fine. I'm always better in the back row. I can talk louder. I mean, that's not a problem. Like I might even sing. Nobody wanna
Go
hear
for it. Yeah. Go for it.
No, nobody wants to hear that.
that. I'm saving myself
For April.
That's
for my
right.
professional debut.
Absolutely.
I'm not going to miss that.
It'll never be the same after you hear Carl sing. I'm telling you.
Someone wants to know if any of you guys have a lucky article of clothing you wear every year. Any superstitions?
No. The Cooper years kind of cured me of superstitions.
Yeah.
Didn't matter what we did.
Yeah.
When it wasn't working out for the Buckeyes.
I mean, we could add human sacrifice. And it wouldn't work.
I had to remain impartial. Journalistic integrity.
Spence.
I remember some of the guys we had helping us out in the press box would show up in their John Hicks jersey or something. It's like, you guys can't be doing that. This is a press box. You can't be wearing Ohio State jerseys.
All right, impartial, but how many times did you write that John Cooper can't get off the interstate?
Yeah.
I-61, I-71, I-81.
Spence knew John Cooper's record against Michigan better than the dates of his own children's birth.
That's on my Twitter handle. I know his record against Michigan better than my kids' birthdays. When was my daughter born? I don't know. John Cooper 210-1.
Cooper end up doing? I know he went to Arizona State. How did he end up doing? Like, how did his career end? Was it just?
I think it ended
was
at
like-
Ohio
was it-
State.
He never coached.
He had
after
a
that.
700 winning percent. I mean, he was
He's
a
in the
great
College Football
recruiter.
Hall of Fame.
Yeah, he just could not beat Michigan.
Or win a bowl game.
Yeah, that too.
Part of the knock on Cooper was he never understood the rivalry. When he first came in, he made the statement, it's just another game kind of thing. And that never sat well with Ohio State fans.
But you know, he's kind of, I don't know how to describe it. Same with Earl. Earl, after he retired, I mean, I think fans always did like Earl, maybe even more than Coop when he was coaching, because he was 5-4 against Michigan,
Right.
and he was an Ohio guy. You know, he got to start coaching at Mansfield Senior, but they embraced him, and I think they embraced John Cooper too, because after he retired, he decided to stay in Columbus.
That's what Cooper
so
says.
he's kind of a popular guy.
They love you before and they love you after.
just not during.
Especially when you don't beat Michigan.
Boy, I'll never remember. I'll never
3rd and 7,
I'll never
it's
forget
huge.
in '88, his first year. You know, they come out his first game. They beat Syracuse at home, but practically a perfect game. No penalties. I mean, everything that could go right went
Did he
right.
catch that?
No way.
Out of bounds.
Okay.
Everything-
Yeah, and everybody's excited.
And then they go to Pittsburgh.
And just get drilled.
Mike Gottfried's the head coach, of course, Crestline's own Mike Gottfried. And they get drilled, I believe it was 42-10, because I was writing my game story at halftime. It was over already. And so I'm standing down there near the tunnel at the end of the game, and I mean, the viciousness coming from the Ohio State crowd. And I turned to, I can't remember what reporter I stand at, and go, well, the honeymoon's already over. I mean, they wanted to ship him back to Tennessee. So, I mean, and Mike Gottfried said after the game, he'll still tell you today. He goes, I watched film. He goes, I knew we were quicker than those guys, and that we could beat them. He goes, they were just. Well, remember Cooper got in trouble that year. He spoke to a booster club or something. Didn't realize there was a reporter there. He said, we have too many slow white guys.
Yeah.
And that became a headline in the Cleveland Plain Dealer. And I'm thinking, that was Bruce Hooley, was a reporter that was there for the Cleveland Plain Dealer. And he got all kinds of grief for that. But Cooper, yeah, it's like, and it's true. I think Earl's recruiting did kind of fall off
No question.
at the end.
He said later, I interviewed him right here in Mansfield one time, and he said later, if I'd have known Chris, he was talking about Chris Carter, if I'd known Chris wasn't coming back, I wouldn't have come back for his last year even, because he had an offer from Arizona or Arizona State, somebody, pretty lucrative offer, and he turned it down to stay at Ohio State, and then the wheels came off. That when Chris Carter was ineligible because he signed with an agent, and they didn't have, they were running Vince Workman and those guys out
Where
there.
would you rank? Because when I think of Ohio State receivers, I still, as great as these three are, I still go back to Terry Glenn as like
Terry
the
Glenn had
best
the best season
receiver.
I ever
I mean, his
saw.
acceleration,
Yep.
his ability to tightrope the sidelines and make catches, and
Everybody talks about David Boston. He was great too.
Yeah,
but
he was-
Glenn was so explosive.
Oh, my God.
He could take a curl 78 yards against Notre Dame.
I remember that touchdown against Notre Dame. He just shot like a shot out of a cannon. He just blew right past was it
Rossum.
Rossum. But yeah, I'd still go back to Terry Glenn as the best I ever.
So acrobatic too. Holy
Yep.
cow!
Yep.
And he was a walk-on. He played Effie when he would have been about your age, because he played.
Yeah, he would have had to.
Well, in the '91 season, he was an underclassman at Brookhaven when Brookhaven had Marlon Kerner at quarterback, and they had the Gwynn brothers, AJ and Jason, I think. Jason ended up getting killed in a car accident at Ohio State, and then Terry Glenn was on that team too. So he had four guys who went to Ohio State, and Madison played them
In the
in their
playoffs,
very first playoff game that they were in, and Marlon Kerner was their quarterback. But that's how good Brookhaven was. I don't even remember Terry Glenn from that game.
Devin Smith was a guy.
Yeah.
That, talk about big timers. He may not have been the greatest receiver, but to make, he was a big play. He was just strictly a big play guy. I remember we coached basketball against him when Massillon came down here, and I bet he had 17 dunks. In
He
the
did.
game, something like that. And I didn't even realize he played football. And, you know, he got out, they said, and I looked at the screen, they said, Devin Smith from Massillon. I'm looking at the guy, and all I can remember is him dunking all over our kids. But he was a big play guy.
He had that huge catch against Russell Wilson in Wisconsin.
Yep.
Was a
That was when
50-yard.
that was when he's just a young kid.
Yeah.
When
He did come up with the big
you
plays.
talk about somebody who could track the ball, that kid was
Absolutely.
the best I've seen.
Absolutely, yeah.
He was a track star too, wasn't he? I mean, he was
He
like
won.
a
Did he
state
not win?
champion.
Yeah, he won the 100 or 200 or both.
Something.
I think his
know.
senior year.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, he was unbelievable.
That was another thing Coop said. You know, you see these 4.3, 4.4 times. If they ain't running high school track, you can take those those times and throw them in the trash.
Right.
There
Nice
made
move.
somebody miss.
Go.
Okay.
His first catch
Garrett
tonight,
Wilson
didn't he?
finally ringing the bell.
Yep. It's got to be easier now to get Buckeyes on the side of your helmet.
I know.
I remember back in the days, you know, Archie Griffin's playing against
Yeah.
Michigan, and he's got like 4.
Yeah, right.
Heck, I've got 3. I never even s-
Yeah. Now they give them like, probably going to class, or, you know,
Yeah.
coming to practice, you get a Buckeye.
I can't remember how I got one. Trussell gave me a couple. There was somebody locally. that
Yeah,
was-
I remember that. I was still at the news journal when that
and
happened.
he gave me a couple, and then I don't know where I got the third one, but yeah,
I know what it was. Scott Fagerstrom's brother had, I think he had brain cancer or something, and Scott got him a Ohio State football helmet because he was driving a scooter, and he asked you if you could get.
Buckeye leaf.
I think that's what happened, and so he put the Buckeye leaves on his helmet.
I do remember Trussell giving me a couple. I don't remember why.
That's funny. I was just watching one of the throwback games with Michigan, Kent Graham, the quarterback, and he had like 2 on his helmet.
Yeah.
Like, wow.
Ouch.
Man, big play.
That's about all he deserved. Kent Graham.
Well, see, if you get Buckeyes for making a play, the left tackle on that play
Right,
should lose
right.
one.
Yeah, you should get one taken away.
They start taking them away.
Somebody get a block.
Oh, that's
That's a
Rucker.
tight end.
Nah, Rucker,
Yeah.
get a block.
Jeez. He even held and got gave up a 5-yard loss.
Where's number 19?
Yeah, that's not their blocking
Exactly.
tight end.
Right. No way they're gonna run it here, John. Right?
If he ain't a target,
No,
then he
not
shouldn't
now.
be in the game.
That's the last run you're going to see on this series.
There's a good throw.
Get out of there.
Okay.
You know what Ryan Day said, you know, if you run the ball, 3 things can happen, and 2 of them are bad.
Yeah.
You might fumble, might get
Right.
lost plays. That's his first catch, isn't it?
No, he's had a couple.
He's had a
He's
couple
dropped
there.
He also had a drop. That's
Yeah.
right.
Oh,
Okay. That's 6.
Yes, there it is.
Yes, it's 6.
I don't know.
Put your hands up, guy.
I'm going to review that. I
Put
don't
your hands up.
not
will
You got
you?
to make a call.
Okay. Thank you.
There's going to be a review.
Yeah, they're gonna review it anyway. Anybody got anything to do for next 20 minutes?
Yeah.
Right.
You guys got anything
Right.
to talk
That's
about?
what I don't like.
Hey, I do need to pay a bill.
That's what I don't like about this review. Like these, the refs just quit making calls. We'll,
Yeah.
Right.
we'll wait and see. Just put your hands up and then go.
Make a call.
The guy standing there, he has not made a call. That is close.
That's a touchdown.
That's a touchdown.
It
Right over the
seems-
flag.
yeah.
They went over the
He went over
pylon.
yeah.
Now, now, is this the part where Jim Harbaugh goes,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't.
That is a great catch.
I don't know the rule well enough. I mean, what's
He
Well,
kicked
he
the
went
pylon.
over.
He
Okay.
kicked the
Yeah,
As long
pylon and
as
went
you're
over.
like, yeah.
great catch.
It's not that or it's a ground rule double. He goes inside.
I wish that
Get a touchdown without anybody signaling.
He's the best at going after the high pointing the ball.
Yeah.
He's the best I've ever seen in Ohio State do that.
I wish that and Chioki and I were talking about this last night. I wish that football was just played with one set of uniform rules.
Oh, yeah.
Because there are so many different things. Like in high school, a touchback, you get the ball at the 20,
Well,
which is ridiculous.
There's something else too that I just noticed that this year, and I'm not going to say this right, but defensive holding used to be an automatic first down, and that was uniform. And now I think that has changed in college football. I don't think it's an automatic. The Nebraska game yesterday, there was a defensive holding, and they had a 2nd and 12, and instead they made it 2nd and 2. I was like, that used to be an automatic. First down.
Yeah, on defensive holding, yeah, it was.
Like, I don't know in high school if there is a running into and roughing anymore. If there's I think that it's all roughing. And if it's a roughing, whether it's the passer or the kicker or whoever, it's an automatic first down. There's no like
No
running
5
into
yard.
and 5-yard version of that anymore. And I don't know if that exists at the college level or at the pro.
Same
pro
thing
level.
with the receiver. In a punt, like Michigan's been flagged for that already
Right,
today.
right.
And that used to be
Right.
same thing.
Yeah, it's weird
Yeah.
because a lot of the coaches, at especially high school, they don't. Sometimes you'll catch them asking for a 5-yard penalty
Right.
or a 5-yard face. It's like, wait a minute.
Yeah,
bud,
and the
this is-
officials like that.
Sorry, that's not the.
And I spent a lot of time on the sidelines of high school games, and you hear coaches who are saying, "Oh, that's an uncatchable ball." Well, that doesn't exist at the high
Right,
school
right.
level.
Right.
This isn't a rule thing, and you can probably speak to this. When did it always used to be a cardinal sin to field a punt
Inside
Inside
the
the
10.
10.
Now
Ohio
guys,
State
Inside the
puts
10.
a three today.
now college
Period.
guys and pros are doing it all the time. I wondered why that is.
I have no. Well, and I know they changed the rule, and I think it's just kickoffs where if you can fair catch it.
Right,
inside the
right.
10.
right.
But I have no clue why that changed.
Right.
Yeah, like 10, 15, all of a sudden guys started fielding
I'm gonna
punts.
tell you what happened. These analytics guys got together and they said the more times it bounces inside the end zone when it hits inside the 10, so the kids just stop fair catch. Or I don't get that either. I'm like, why are you?
I'll take my
what
chance
happened
the
to
ball's going to
rule?
bounce into the end zone.
Right.
Right. What happened to the rule?
Yeah, that one's always baffled me. Every time I see that happen,
You know
it
what,
happens every game.
You're almost better off if you're going to field a punt inside the 10. You're almost better off trying to return it.
Right,
Because
right.
everybody's flat-footed around you anyway, because they're thinking they're going to try and down it.
Yeah.
Right. We all say that. I remember catching a punt, which was my last return punt. I was in middle school. I was an 8th grader in middle school.
Caught it at the 2.
And, all those things go like, oh, you're supposed to do this, you're supposed to do that. But I'm telling you, when that ball's in the air and you got 9 guys coming down at you, all those rules and everything you're supposed to do, it doesn't
Out the
matter.
window.
Only thing that happens is, okay, how can I catch it and get down, or catch it and get away, or don't catch it?
Right.
Yeah.
Those are the only things that are going through your mind.
This will be big for Michigan because I think if they don't do something, if Ohio State scores again,
Yeah,
goes up
yeah,
10.
yeah.
I mean, I just don't think they have a come from behind offense.
No.
Especially in these conditions.
Seems like they've settled down.
I think
Yeah.
the conditions are
Yeah.
affecting Ohio State's passing game. I do.
Yeah.
You do what?
Seems like
I think
it's
the conditions
slick.
are.
The football's a little slick.
There's good tackle. There's Craig Young.
Defense got to get another stop here.
Well, here's a question. It's clearly windy when you see the flags at the top of the stadium, but how windy is it on the field?
Right,
Because this whole stadium's down in a bowl.
Yeah,
Right.
it's windy.
Is it?
It's like a
Yeah.
wind tunnel.
Yeah.
It is windy.
So you like the top? You walk in and you're at the top.
Oh,
of the
yeah.
stadium?
Then you
Okay, I
go
never
It's a
down.
bowl.
I don't know
Okay.
why they call it the big house. They ought to call it the big hole.
Yeah, it's just a big bowl.
Yeah, you're at street level at the top of the stadium.
Wow.
Here they come. Yep. got
Get
you.
there, get there, get there. Nope.
Oh, almost. a
Number
pick.
9.
What were you saying about Zach Harrison, Zach?
Yeah, that could have been a huge play.
If defensive players could catch, they'd be wide receivers.
Yep. That would be a monster play right there.
DN picking off a pass.
Yeah.
Well, you're going to drop into coverage. You might as well catch it if they throw it to you.
Well, if they can pressure the quarterback, he's good for. He'll give you the football if they can get some pressure on.
Already has. And that was without pressure.
Right.
Going to come again.
I don't think so.
Nope, just 4.
They've kind of gotten away from the run too a little bit.
Yeah.
That's
Thank
their,
God.
Right. Yeah.
You know,
right.
this deep in their own territory, and that's their strength. Why they?
That tight end is their bread and butter. They throw to him.
Every
Man.
every team with a tight end
Yeah.
should throw. Ohio State has historically had trouble with tight ends.
You know?
Again, it comes down to linebacking crews a little bit. They don't.
Where's Chris Spielman? Where's Andy Katzenberg?
Yeah. They don't have
no.
those
Oh, they
guys
couldn't play
anymore.
today.
Oh wow.
Crap. See,
All
I
by
can do
himself in there.
PG-13.
It's a nice throw.
Larry said crap.
I remember Coach Steve Gilbert took us down to see Ohio State practice when I was a 10th grader. And I walked up and I saw Steve Tovar, who was the biggest human being I had ever seen. Like, I couldn't believe. Like, I'm like, are you serious? He's that big? And at that time, he was, he was a linebacker who had good speed, but he was huge.
Yeah, Steve Tovar. Was Gilbert your coach the entire?
My sophomore year and junior year, yeah.
Then who'd you have your senior year?
Stan Jefferson.
Dan Jefferson.
Oh, Stan.
He was my.
That's right. Stan succeeded Steve.
Yep, he did.
That was the first playoff.
And Steve went right from senior high to Tiffin.
I think so.
Did he go right there? I think it was a year.
No, that was before I had arrived.
I think it was
don't know.
about a year or so before he went. I don't think he went right to Tiffin. I think it was a year or so before he got that job.
First down.
Yeah, they got it.
Jeez.
I think one of the first biggest guys I ever saw when I was in college, I went to a Bengals-Browns game in 1980, the Cyber Bowl year. And it was a Riverfront Stadium, and I was walking behind the Browns bench, and they had an offense. I think it was a center. Joe DeLamielleure came over from Buffalo a couple years earlier. Joe DeLamielleure stood up to put his coat on, and as he stood up, I looked. His name fit on his back, and there was like 3 inches on each side. I said, "Holy crap! How big do you have to be
Right.
that the name DeLamielleure can fit across your entire back?"
Right,
Dude put on his coat and blocked out the sun.
He was a guard. Yeah, he was.
They're going to
Massive.
take a shot.
Got him.
Nope.
I kind of.
Yeah.
Spence, I don't know if you remember I'm sure you do, the Texas game at Ohio Stadium. And a play just
Ryan
like
Hamby.
that. Lima Swede catches a game-winning touchdown pass right there. And I'm sitting next to Jack Tatum. Tatum's in the press box. And he just, starts swearing because he goes, and it was Nate Sally was the safety. He goes, if that was me, that kid's head would be in the third row.
Tatum said that?
Sounds about right.
Because he had a chance Sally had a chance to make a play. He didn't read it till too late, and then he didn't really even hit him.
Hey, speaking of press boxes, do you remember this? I don't, because they were talking about it. A couple of guys were talking about it on Facebook this week. Do you remember Michigan telling us we could take our chairs after the last game before they refurbished the press
I
box?
saw you and Naveau were talking about that.
Yeah, he goes, Mark Ray said he grabbed his. I'm like, I told my wife, I go, I definitely would have grabbed my chair in Michigan press
I
box.
don't remember that either.
Yeah, go ahead and take it home. It's like,
That
what?
is short.
4th down. Does Harbaugh
Is
go
that
for
short?
it? Do you go for it here, midfield?
Where are
I
they?
am
Oh, no.
pretty
will. He
conservative
will.
when it comes to these things. I like
Yeah.
I'll punt and play defense.
I think he's going for it.
I
Their
think he's
running
gonna go.
game's the strength of their team.
He's got to go.
Yeah, they got the ball at the 43.
Look at him. He's like, let's go.
He'll try and draw him off.
They're going for
He's
it.
got 8 tight ends out there. He's got more tight ends than Ohio State's got on its roster.
How many times has Ohio State stopped him in short yards? They're
Right,
the worst
they
in the country in
haven't.
fourth down defense.
Cooper always had a tight end for the Ohio State game.
They're going to get the playoff here?
It's
Terrible.
No.
Just terrible.
We are only halfway through the second quarter, and Spence is tossing out double entendre jokes.
You said we could go R-rated, or you said we could, or we might.
He just crossed the border, took us right down the path.
It's all that late night TV view.
Yeah.
It's kind of.
Retirement's hard on you, Spence.
R-rated was the night you and Dave Polson were covering Ohio State in the Sugar Bowl, and we were trying to do a photo page for the News Journal. And we're on deadline, and every picture that Polson kept sending
It's
to
Michael
us
Wiley.
was Michael Wiley.
Didn't we do a special Michael
We
Wiley
have
section?
Michael Wiley page.
Michael Wiley tab.
We got to the point with him where we were saying, take a picture of anybody but number 5.
Yeah, I got on the phone to Polson. I said, "You send me another picture of Michael Wiley. I'm coming to New Orleans and I'm killing you."
I remember that. That was.
I got like 10 minutes to get a photo page. I have 9 pictures of Michael Wiley and 1 picture of a sousaphone player. Come on.
What'd you expect? Polson was shooting a game from Bourbon Street.
Yeah.
He wasn't even in the stadium. He had a zoom lens and he was in a bar on Bourbon Street.
Get out of O'Brien's and get to the game, would
He handed the
you?
camera to somebody he saw on Bourbon Street.
Oh, there's that Michael Wiley guy. Let's shoot him.
Yeah. Oh, look, there's Michael Wiley. Oh, look, there's Michael Wiley.
It's getting off track, but I remember so many times that we'd have games, high school games that we cover and stuff, and like say Joe Jakubik went off for like 42. There'd be no pictures.
Not a single
It'd be
picture
like
of Joe
some
Jakubik.
guy that came in off the bench and played 3 minutes.
Yeah.
It's like, what are we supposed to do with this?
The photographer said, well, here's my best picture.
Yeah. Is there one with Joe in it?
Did that kid played? I didn't even know that.
That's a very artistic photo you took in the last 30 seconds with third teamers in the game.
And then the one photographer we had, he was an intern. And I remember the first game he shot, I was covering, and he comes back, and he's got pictures of the coach on the sideline, cheerleaders and stuff. He goes, I can't shoot anything in motion.
That wasn't a job requirement, apparently.
Would have been good to know before we sent you out there.
Jeez, I can't shoot anything in motion.
Well, I'll call you when my kid graduates. Until then.
He had had an internship with National Geographic, which is a little bit different than shooting a high school basketball game. Yeah, as long as they're standing still, I can, in the jungle or wherever he was, I can get it. If the tiger's on the move, forget it. I'm not. Jeez. Yeah, the 44's playing a lot.
He's played a lot more than Sawyer has this year.
Time to make a play.
And he
Why?
didn't even roll until August.
They're focusing on Zach Harrison. I don't know if that means a big play's coming or.
Play action, maybe.
Nah,
would.
right up the gut. First down.
Got it.
Too easy.
Jeez. Where's Tyreek Smith? He hasn't been on the field much, has he?
Haven't heard his name called.
Well, he was. I know he was the last series.
I'd say Michigan's winning the in the trenches.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm telling you, they look better. They just look better than our guys up front.
Well, it's so hard to stop 4th and 1, 4th and a foot.
Oh,
Yeah.
sure.
There's a good stick.
The key is you got to make plays like that, so it's not 3rd and a foot.
Sure.
Right.
Sure. Anymore, the way the team's spread out offensively, there's no way I wouldn't go for it on 4th because they've got to line up. Just the way
Yeah.
teams have to line up to guard you. You know, you're going to have natural spaces, but
No, they should have this should have the tight end written all over it for Michigan.
They blitz here?
I don't think so.
Nope, just 4.
Back out of the backfield. Oh,
He's going down
he's
the field.
open. Got it.
Oh!
Got it.
And he beat their best DB, too.
Hey. Absolutely.
Okay. The guy you call their worst gets the interception. The guy
I
you
know.
call their
What's
best
going
gets
on?
the-
It's like-
what are you doing?
It's an alternate universe today. It's like,
He's got to turn and see the ball.
No way. They've
That's
gotten
just a
away
great
from that.
throw.
They've gotten away from that defensive backs just all over. Nobody turns and plays
I know.
balls
It
anymore.
drives me crazy.
Everybody tries with their hands and all that.
Nope.
actually, it's
Sure.
better for them to score earlier. Give Ohio State some time.
They scored too early.
Yeah, that was at West Virginia. First drive.
They scored too early.
They
I
scored,
remember
they're
you looking
scoring
at
too
me like,
fast.
I mean,
only time I've ever heard that in the press box. They scored too fast.
That's an offside.
touchdown.
Don't matter.
I mean, they talk about that as a defensive back. When the receiver puts his hands up,
Right.
that's when you got to turn
Get
and
your
see
head
the ball.
turned, yeah.
That's what makes Devontae Adams so good for Green Bay. Calls it late hands.
Right.
He
right,
doesn't
right.
put his hands up till the last second.
But it used to be like,
I think that right guard from Michigan's having a whale of a game.
Because he buried
is.
Garrett on that
Yeah.
play. I mean, he just.
I
I mean,
haven't
all
heard
up
ask for
front,
Garrett's name at all.
they're better. They're pushing them around. That last pass, there wasn't a guy within 5 yards of the quarterback. They're not getting any pressure on the quarterback.
That looks like Jerry Kramer
getting pushed
against
around.
Jethro Pugh in the Ice Bowl.
Jethro Pugh.
You can throw out Don Nottingham. I can throw out Jethro Pugh.
And Jerry Kramer.
Those two guys probably played against each
Yeah.
other at least.
Yeah, this is Kramer's weather right here, man.
That's a great throw, though. Great throw.
Hey, Garrett's just burned.
All right.
This is the closest
Have to
Michigan's
go-
been
yeah.
in 4 years.
Have to earn some money. Earn some money this year. I think it's good though. I think it's good for everybody for this to be a good game.
Oh,
The hell with that. I want to see a blowout. I know, it's Kurt talking about it. Oh, I want to see a competitive game. I want to see a competitive game.
yeah. How much more could they cut Harbaugh's salary if he lost this one?
Oh, jeez.
Well, he already took a pay cut. Now you have to.
The guy's a great coach.
I know,
He
I
just
don't
has
get
trouble
it.
in this game. That's
I don't
that's
get it. People think we got to get better.
Who's Georgia play today? Georgia Southern?
Yeah, somebody like that. They played Georgia Tech today, I think.
Oh yeah,
Same
that's right.
difference.
I found out this week I still have a Heisman vote. I wasn't planning to vote,
Oh,
but then I got a text that said we still need you to vote this year. So I'm like, I hadn't been, getting emails or anything because I never let them know about my new email address. So now I'm back on the email list. But I was thinking if Stroud had a big game today and next week in the Big Ten championship game, that would probably lock up the Heisman for him.
well, he's gonna have to play.
But he's going to have to play a
way
lot better
he
than he's
has
playing.
so far.
But remember in '95 when they lost to Michigan, Eddie still won the Heisman.
Yeah, he had 100 yards still though. Stroud hasn't. He hasn't done well. I mean, that was a great catch by Wilson, but other than that, he's been kind of nondescript.
I'm telling you what, though, I think their defense is letting them down so far in this game. They just haven't been able to hold up.
There you go.
There's a screen.
Henderson in space again.
I don't see
They had
anybody.
two guys out there. Neither one of them blocked anybody.
I don't really see anybody slipping for
No.
all the
Yeah.
snow. It's like I haven't seen anybody. The footing still seems pretty good.
I think it's like you said, it's more blowing around down there than anything else.
Henderson runs like I always wanted to in high school.
Jeez. What's he want? Face
mask. Now, who's that Michigan blue check? Come on.
Yeah.
The officials are slanted.
Yeah, toward Ohio State.
Right? Score here to close out the half and score to start the second half.
That'd be the
Quarterback draw.
ideal.
Quarterback drive.
Never.
Stroud, you need to run more.
He goes, they pay me to throw it.
Yeah, right.
That was weird.
Yeah. Guy's thrown for 4,000 yards,
Yeah.
50 touchdowns, but
Yeah, run.
we need him to run.
Just
Why doesn't he
spoiled.
run? I get that every week, at least one person. Why
What's-
doesn't Stroud run?
It's not, run 15 times like JT Barrett. It's run when there's nothing in front
Right.
of you. And
He just doesn't
that's-
want to.
I know. It's
because
like
of,
Dwayne
I don't know if he's
Haskins.
afraid of getting hurt.
I think so.
Doesn't want to lose his place because once you lose your job, you're not getting it back here.
That was a big play.
Yes,
There
it
is.
was.
Nice.
Otherwise, you give it back to Michigan with a chance to.
To go up 2 scores.
Right.
Although I half jokingly say this, I don't know who's going to be in that quarterback room next year. Could just be Stroud and whoever they recruit.
Yeah.
I mean, at least 2 of those guys are leaving, maybe all 3. I don't.
That Ewers
I
kid won't
guarantee
stay.
He
Ewers
right?
won't.
is being
He's-
told he can start
yeah,
for
why would he
anybody.
stay
Yeah.
if Stroud wins the Heisman or?
Right.
I mean, he even goes to New York for the ceremony. It's like Ewers is like, I'm not going to sit again.
Well, Ewer's dad's been telling him since the second grade he probably should be starting at Ohio State.
Jeez.
Nice move.
And Miller probably won't be back. I don't think
Yeah, I
he's
don't
helped
think so
himself with
either.
that DUI.
He's 3rd string now.
And
Now
my-
that got reduced, John. Come on. It's
Oh,
not
it
a
did?
DUI. It got reduced to a reckless ops or whatever. First offense. Plus he plays at Ohio State.
Oh, man.
Now what? False
Motion.
start.
Who was the quarterback
Second
at Ohio
and
State
1.
that got busted for DUI the week of the Michigan
Belisari.
game? Yeah.
Well, it was the
Belisari.
week
week
before,
before.
and then
Before.
Krenzel started.
Yeah.
And the Michigan kid beats Michigan.
Yeah.
Yeah, Krenzel. I mean Belisari. He was.
That's
Larry,
at least
as Larry
what,
called
4?
him Belisari.
Sorry.
It should have played linebacker. Nobody else but Ohio
I
State
thought-
wanted him as a
I
quarterback.
thought there was no way he can be their best quarterback. He was
can't
so
be.
bad.
He was so-
But I went to practice. Tressel's first year, he had open practice, so the public could go to the practice. And Belisari was their best quarterback. That's how bad they were at quarterback.
Who was that kid they had behind? Well,
Uh-oh.
jeez.
oh, he almost caught it.
McMullen.
Yeah, McMullen.
But that was, I mean, he was a true freshman then. He wasn't,
Yeah.
what he would
The
become.
kid out of Granville?
Mhm.
Oh.
Mhm.
That brought back nightmares of bigger, better Buckeye coverage.
Boy, just think of some of those quarterback rooms and how bad they were. You
Yeah.
drop down to Joe Bowserman, and
Oh,
you know,
they
it's like-
still have that graphic online. Bowserman's passing chart and shows him up in C-Deck. And
one lodged in the tuba. The tuba player couldn't get it out. It's just wedged in there. It's like, Bowserman.
Don't target the band.
Another big play, 3rd and 6. How about a tight end? Throw to the tight end once.
Even at tight ends.
Let's keep Stroud upright. There you go. Okay.
Yes.
Boy, did they need that.
Yes, sir.
At some point, they're going to go over the top
I was
here.
going to say, it's about time to pick up the pace here. You got 75 seconds left in the half.
Yeah, now he's like, we got all the time in the world. Dave's like, we're not going to leave him any time.
There you go.
But he's not.
Timeout. Timeout. Timeout.
Tell you what,
got
Stroud's
timeouts
not
there.
as
There you
he's
go.
not as sharp as he's. I mean, that's a couple
I
behind.
was a
Right.
little bit behind him, too.
If he leads him properly, I think
Oh,
he
yeah.
takes that to the corner,
Absolutely.
maybe to the flag. They didn't call a timeout there.
Nope.
Nope.
Yeah.
How many they have left?
All three
All
of them.
three.
This will be
No need to use him.
Throw it.
Well, that's not good.
That's a pick.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, thank you.
Jeez.
Gosh, what
What
was
in the
that?
hell was that?
You're going to throw it away. Throw it away.
Once again, if defensive backs
don't think
could
he was
catch,
throwing that away.
they'd be wide receivers.
Yeah, I don't think he was throwing that away. He was trying to get that to.
Oh, my gosh.
He could have fair caught that.
Threw a punt, yeah. That's pass interference.
I was going to say, how is that
yeah,
not?
right.
Yeah.
But you see, at the last second, he's looking at the ball. Though. They'll give him
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, you're
You
right.
take a look at the ball. They'll
Yep.
give it to you.
Yep. They're both.
I think that's his
Even
girlfriend.
you're right, Effie. But even if he's like that, that's still
DBs.
defensive holding, isn't it?
Well, but if you're looking at the ball, they give you a lot of leeway. They give you a lot if you're looking at the ball. Oh, jeez.
Time
Throw
out.
timeout.
Let's use the timeout.
Jeez.
Wilson's holding his guy.
Yeah, did you see that holding penalty that Harrison Jr. got there at Nebraska? He went over and hugged the guy. That was his first contact with the guy. Went around and just looked like he was welcoming a long-lost relative to Thanksgiving dinner.
Did they win? Nebraska?
No, they found a way to lose
Yeah.
again.
Oh, my gosh.
28-21, I think.
Yeah,
So many.
they got outscored 19-0 in the fourth quarter.
Jeez. I'm glad they're bringing him back, though, because I think he's right
I
on
do
the
too.
cusp of.
I do too.
I don't know what's. Don't get tossed.
Right.
3rd and 7.
We got 32 seconds, 2 timeouts.
They're bringing the house here.
Now they'll run.
I
the
think
ball.
so too.
They're bringing the house. Hopefully get a sack, make a field goal a lot tougher.
What do you think about a screen here, Effie?
I'd
Not
rather.
enough territory here.
Nah,
You're gonna run it.
If they're gonna blitz,
Drop play to Henderson.
right.
Quarterback draw. Wait, that's C.J.
Yeah.
Stroud. Huh? Yeah, they came off the corner.
That's not
break
gonna-
that tackle. Damn.
Say that's not gonna be good.
I didn't
enough
like
for
it.
a first down.
Can't run a 3-yard route when it's 3rd and 7.
God. And there's no way he's gonna be able to turn up field.
Is that almost an automatic? They tell Stroud
They'll
you
run
see
it
the
down here,
corner
kick a
coming.
field goal.
Uh-oh, what's
throw the
Day
ball where
doing
it
here?
was.
Oh, day.
He's like, I need the lead at halftime.
Yeah,
Now he's gonna go.
he's gonna kick it.
What did he call a timeout with 10
10
seconds
seconds.
I
for?
think he was trying to decide what he wanted to do.
Yeah.
Oh, there ain't no way they're going for it.
He was thinking
And I
about
like
it
points.
because we need that momentum going in the.
They'll give momentum away if you don't come away with points.
Right.
They get the kickoff, so he's probably thinking, "Hey, we score a touchdown here, we get the kickoff to open the second half." He goes, "Now, if we were kicking off to start the second half, then I'd be a little bit more."
Yeah, Stroud missed that. What they ran, the combination route they ran, the slant is what he wanted to throw, but then he had to throw the underneath route because it wasn't open. But you can't throw
Yeah.
that short route on.
They'll take some points here.
Yeah, you can't do that.
Again, if this is what you're going to do, why do you call timeout with 13 seconds left?
Just think about it.
Uh-oh.
Got through.
You
He
got
got
it.
through.
It's good.
Got through.
Seems like
Almost-
that should have taken more than 1 second, though.
We're in Ann Arbor.
Right.
unless they put time back. There's no way play can only take 1 second unless they
I
put
think they
time
put
back
it back
on.
to
yeah.
13. I'd say Michigan's outplayed them. I don't know what the yardage
No,
looks
I
like.
agree.
Okay, we got a question from Crystal Hayes. How many times has it come down to Michigan or Ohio State for the Big Ten championship?
Oh, man.
How often has this game decided who's going to the Rose Bowl? Tricky question since Big Ten championship game has only been happening since 2010.
Right.
Any thoughts or stats on this? So if you can't give them numbers, talk about tradition-wise Ohio State, Michigan for the Big Ten.
A lot.
Yeah.
I mean, I would.
I can't remember when it hasn't.
Yeah,
Like,
it just seems like so many years. Just
So the Big Ten championship's been around since 2010.
Right.
Were Ohio State and Michigan always in the same? Wasn't there a time when there was leaders and
Yeah,
legends and
right.
not?
They were
They-
in different
they were-
brackets to start with.
Okay.
Were they?
I think the first year, like 2011, but Ohio State was so bad it didn't.
right. There could have been back-to-back games against Michigan, but it never panned
Yeah,
out that way.
I think the first year it was Wisconsin and Michigan State were in the Big Ten championship game. I think Nebraska was in there once early too.
Yeah,
They
they-
jockeyed around divisions and stuff.
Yeah, they had that legends and leaders.
Right.
I mean, this rivalry
That
predates
seemed like a dumpster fire right from the jump.
Was.
predates Major League Baseball, predates the NFL. Been playing over 100 years. Michigan, I know, won the first 15
Yeah, they
before
were-
Ohio State ever got off the snide against them.
That's why they have the lead to this day in the series.
Right.
Because the first 15 years they didn't win. Ohio State didn't win.
Look.
No, it says right there, Michigan has more yardage.
No.
Or I mean, Ohio State has more yardage than Michigan.
Well, I guess because
There it
Michigan's
is.
kind of been grinding,
Right.
and Ohio State's been picking up some passing yards.
This game's gone exactly the way Jim Harbaugh would want it. The only thing that's gone against him is that pick, which was a monster play.
Oh, gee.
There you go. First time in 5 years they've led it to half.
The 2016 game was the double overtime game, right?
Yep.
Right. Had that famous fourth down
Right.
run
Yeah,
by Barrett.
this far.
Yeah.
He wasn't even close.
Barrett's helmet.
I thought Harbaugh's head was going to come off.
You'd have to be Magoo to think that he didn't make that.
It was what Curtis Samuel scored the
Yeah.
game winner?
Yeah.
Yeah. That
Ah.
was one of the funner games to watch. I
Yeah,
enjoyed
absolutely.
watching
That one is. I mean, it's a lot more fun, I think, when it comes down to a play in the fourth quarter
it.
instead of
Sure.
I kind of enjoyed the 62-39 stuff myself.
We've noticed it. Yeah, I get
It
that.
just doesn't do anything for me. You know, it's funny because everyone was losing their minds that the Browns only beat a winless Detroit team by 3 points last week. The Browns don't have a committee to impress. You know, they don't need style points in the NFL. They just got to win.
Yeah, the NFL is so different
Yeah,
because literally
completely
any
different
team
game.
can beat
Any
any
team.
team
Right.
on a given day.
It's hard to get a win in the NFL.
Yeah.
Like, really.
That's so crazy. Tennessee, the only two losses are to Houston
Right.
and Jacksonville, the two worst teams in the NFL.
Well, the Jets, the Bengals lost to
Yeah,
the
the-
Jets a week after they pounded the Ravens.
Yes.
Oh,
The
and
NFL.
you can't make.
mean,
I don't know how people can bet on the NFL.
I know.
I don't know how these gamblers
No
can.
way.
There's no way.
I mean, everything is a field goal in the fourth quarter, basically.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, we were talking about that in the office. It's almost worth a first-round pick
Right.
to get a
On
good
the
field
best
goal kicker.
kicker in the
because-
league, yeah, in college football.
I look at a lot of these teams in the NFL. They talk about building, but when you look at it, it's like how many teams really build and then finally get good and they win a
Right.
Super Bowl? But it's usually you got a small window, you go
Right.
after it, you win your Super Bowl, and then you relax.
Right.
Then you relax.
Then you can't afford to pay them all. So
Right, so you gotta have to get rid of them at some point.
It's
So,
been that way for a long time. Probably the
Yeah.
best pro team that I've seen was the 85 Bears, and they won
yeah,
one title.
yeah, right.
Those, I think Dallas kind of did it that way, right? With Troy
Right.
Aikman and Emmitt
Yeah.
Smith
And
and
the
those
49ers
guys.
did it in the 80s with Bill Walsh
They-
and
they
Joe
built
Montana.
something, yeah, but-
Packers. Sorry, I didn't mean to
Well,
say that.
that's why I always get when people talk about, well, we can't give away or we gotta build through. I'm like,
You win when you can in the NFL.
right? Like you by the time you get everybody developed to where they're good, your quarterback's gonna be. It's time to pay him, or you got to get a new one, or it's just. I'm like, get your guy, pay him right now, and try to win your Super Bowl right now. And then once you win one, that'll keep your job for another 5
Right.
years. And,
I can't even tell what Ohio State is trying to establish after watching that. What are they trying to? The game's been dictated to them so dramatically.
well, I think this is the part that's letting them down.
Their defensive line?
Their
Yeah.
defensive line specifically has not played well. They're getting pushed around, and that's the biggest difference. The offense hasn't been on the field as often. I don't know the stats, but it'd be interesting to see how many possessions they have as compared to what they normally do at halftime. Their defensive line just letting them down. So they're gonna have to get better, or Michigan is gonna have to start playing like Michigan, and we'll get this game over with.
Michigan's taken one shot and they cashed in on it.
Right.
Seeing those conditions right now with the announcers, I am so grateful it's basketball season.
Yeah,
That's what
you know
Spence
it.
said. I said, are you getting the shakes not being in Ann Arbor? Because I'm so glad I'm not in Ann Arbor.
The last high school game I covered this year was Lucas in the regional semifinals. And it was so cold and windy, and I've gotten so old that 10 minutes before the game started, I'm ready to leave. I was talking to Jake Furr, and I said, literally, Jake, take my pictures. I'm going to go sit in my car. Let me know how it turns out. 'Cause unless you're playing,
Yeah.
it is
Yeah,
miserable.
Yeah.
That's
Be
the way.
outside that.
That year I covered Hillsdale and Cary. It was like that.
Right.
It's kind of like this. It's just snow everywhere and just miserable conditions. The one year Madison played at Nate Whitcomb and those guys in '92. They played down in Columbus against Pickerington, who at that time was one high school, and it was like this. And they made us sit outside with a computer. It's like I'm not using my computer out here.
I'm going to sit in the Red Fox and write it from there.
Yeah, I listened to the radio telecast.
In 1983, I covered Fostoria against Elyria Catholic, and the game was played up in Lorraine at George Daniels Field.
Right.
And the wind, it was a blizzard. The wind was coming off the lake at about 45 miles an hour.
Oh,
At halftime, or during the second quarter, the Fostoria coach's wife, Dixie Kidwell, took some parents and went to Walmart or some store, and they came back with like 100 pairs of socks, so the guys could change their socks
Change
at
it.
halftime. I was in the press
Jeez.
box. I walked onto the field after the game. The snow and ice literally came up to your ankles, and I mean it was turned out to be like 13-6. And it's like the snowball. When you have the ball on offense and you're against the wind, just punt.
yeah.
Right.
Because you got nothing.
I still say they're not. Henderson doesn't have enough touches
No.
for me anyway.
Right.
How many carries did Henderson get in the first half?
He just.
I know they threw him a couple of
I bet
passes
it's
out
single
in the
Yeah,
flats.
digits. But it's
You got to hand in the ball 20 times in the second half.
It seems like it, yeah.
Ryan Day don't have the patience for that.
Yeah. Well, they go 3 and out the first drive, and then they hand it to him 6 or
Right.
7 times, and they get right down the goal line and try to get cute and throw
Yeah.
it.
Right.
8 carries for 45 yards.
8 carries.
How many does Williams have? Like,
Four
How many-
carries for
That was
19.
all
how
in
many
that one
passes
drive.
have they thrown?
21.
So
Yeah.
21 passes to 12 runs.
Well,
Yeah.
Stroud got sacked a couple times, so they have 14 rushes. That's counted as a rush in college football. But yeah,
When's Stoops going to coach again?
I thought he'd done a good job.
Haskins has 71 yards for Michigan. 15 carries, 71 yards.
Wow.
What would Henderson have if he had 15 carries?
Right.
You know.
Yeah.
Right.
You put Henderson in Michigan State's offense this year, he's rushing for 2,000 yards.
Yeah.
C.J. Walker's good, but he's not Travion Henderson.
Olave's got 3 catches for 20 yards. It just seems they're not. I don't know. It just seems disjointed. Ohio State's offense seems disjointed. Maybe that's just part and parcel of getting it handed to you on the other side of the ball.
Well,
I
that's
think.
what I mean. They just don't have. It's not the opportunities. They don't have as many possessions, and right now they are getting literally pushed around up
I'll tell you what, a 2-score game in this pace
Right,
is
absolutely.
a monumental
Right,
lead.
right.
Big Ten championship team, is it still the two divisions?
Yes.
The winner of this game will represent the East.
And
Probably
Wisconsin.
Wisconsin.
Wisconsin beats Minnesota tonight, they're in. If they lose, Iowa's in. They'll beat Wisconsin. Wisconsin will beat Minnesota.
They need to take either Penn State, Michigan, and Ohio State and put them into the other division.
Yeah, I don't know.
I have
what
no
you
clue
do.
why they have
Man,
it like
it's-
that.
Because the
Those
Big
Try
Ten
to do it geographically.
Yeah.
The Big Ten championship game literally doesn't mean anything.
This is the
Whoever-
Big Ten
Whoever
championship
wins the
game.
East is going to win.
Right. Huh. Yeah, I guess that's true.
And
In college football, they can't help themselves. Break things down.
Yeah. Right.
Well, like this game was more important than, if you'd cut Woody Hayes open and said you want to win a national championship or beat Michigan, he'd say beat Michigan. This game, the NFL's not like that.
They showed a graphic of what a 12-team playoff would look like this year. And I just thought that would be so interesting, like to see 12 teams get in and those 4 teams get a bye.
Yeah,
and-
4 first-round buys.
Oh yeah.
And you
I
get
think
all
that
the
would be
conference
fun to watch.
champions in.
Right,
And you can
right.
get a group of 5, the best group of 5 school, as long as
Absolutely.
they're ranked. I think the last time we talked about top 12. If you're a top 12 school like Cincinnati, and you're a group of 5, you got an automatic berth. Plus, if conferences automatically get their champion in, then you'll see more of those great non-conference games.
Right.
that
You know what's
schools
going to
are-
happen though? It's not going to be like that. They might say, okay, the Power 5 champions and Notre Dame and one group of 5, but then the other 6 slots are going to go to the SEC. The top 6 teams in the SEC are going to get in there. That's what's going to happen. So I don't trust the committee to do.
Well, and the thing about college
Make it
football
fair.
though is when you do it like that, it looks like this year it would look great, but in 2 years, you could have a team get in that's horrible. You know what I mean? That would be like Clemson getting in this year.
Yeah.
What do you do with what is it, University of San Antonio or something? One of those it's an FBS school, but they're undefeated.
Right. And that's what would happen over time. Yeah.
Well, I don't see any way Cincinnati's going to get kept out now.
No, I don't either. You're not going to leapfrog. Everybody keeps saying Oklahoma State if they win the Big 12. They're 7th now. They're going to jump. They're going to jump Notre Dame. They're going to jump. I don't know. I just don't see them jumping 3 spots. I don't think Cincinnati necessarily deserves when you only play 2 Power 5 teams on your entire schedule. But they've run the table. They've done what they've needed to do.
They've done all they can do.
I've been saying for weeks now, Alabama is getting in with 2 losses.
You still think?
The
Even
committee,
at 3?
the committee told us that when they lost to Texas A&M, which was unranked, and they dropped them 1 spot. They
I
said
thought-
we want Alabama, and as long as it's a competitive game with Georgia in the SEC. Do you really think they're going to take a 1-loss Notre Dame, which almost lost at Toledo,
Yeah.
You think they're going to take 1-loss Notre Dame or a 1-loss Oklahoma State
Over
over
Alabama?
Alabama?
I thought that, John, until they moved Ohio State to 2 over them. Now, from 2, I can see Georgia beating them and them slipping down to 4, and I can. But when they slipped them to 3, that's what made me think. You know what? They might put Alabama out with 2 losses.
Well, Texas A&M's their best win.
Yeah, but when they slipped them down to 3, that's what
Ole
opened
Miss
my eyes
is
and
their
made me
best
think, well, maybe they will. Because until then, I know that's a big win for Ohio State against Michigan State, but I did not think they were going to push them up over Alabama at 2. But when they slipped them to 3, it's like, whoa.
Yeah, I just still think that
Depends on what ESPN wants.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
That's what happened 2 years ago. Ohio State beat 2 top 10 teams the last 2 games and dropped. Just so that Alabama and Clemson wouldn't play each other in that semifinal. That's what that was all about.
I just look at who's behind them. I just think no.
Yeah,
The committee's going to look at those teams, and Oklahoma State's offense is they got a great defense. They just don't pass the eye test. It's like the committee's going to say Alabama.
There's only really one great team this year.
Yeah, this is a down year
Yeah,
basically
it is.
across the
Nobody even
landscape.
talks about Georgia. They're so
No.
good. Nobody even talks about them.
Yeah, it's just a bad year.
Look at that. That's how you handle your arch rival.
Right.
Yeah.
Georgia Tech. Been a long time since the Ramblin' Wreck of Georgia Tech. There's Oregon. Oh, it's Baylor. Got confused.
Yeah, once Oregon lost, that was like, okay.
Yeah.
Yes, the Iron Bowl.
3:30.
Auburn's 6-5.
And playing their backup
Yeah,
quarterback.
but that's a
Right.
huge
Makes it
game.
not
That's always a big game.
I remember the 110 yard.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's like,
Yeah,
Kick 6.
Got to cover on the field goals.
Yeah, weren't you with me in the Michigan press box for that one?
Yeah. Yep.
It's like, what the heck is going on?
I knew he could return that, but the Alabama kids looked like they didn't realize that. That was really smart of, I don't know who Auburn's coach was that year.
The
Chiswick?
I thought it was the guy that I can't think of his name. The high school coach. No, it wasn't him. It was Chiswick, I think.
They put Davis back there. I think they put him back. They might have put him back there just for what happened, but I was thinking that you could actually go up and knock the ball down if it's going to be one of those that crosses over the bar. It'd be the same as a blocked field goal.
I never thought of that. I suppose it could.
Remember when Florida State meant something?
Oh man, I saw this story online this week. I think it was 90,
Look at those
92
records.
or 93. Bowden was coaching against Spurrier,
Yeah.
and in the pregame, Florida's coach was Spurrier, and he had his quarterback threw the football in pregame at Bobby Bowden, and it didn't hit him, but it triggered a brawl. So after the game, Florida State wins the game 23-12, and after the game, somebody said, "Coach, what happens if the Florida State quarterback throws the football at Steve Spurrier?" And Bowden said he'd have hit him. Here you go. There's that obligatory, they hate each other in the hallway
Right.
Oh, yeah. It happened.
camera shot.
Okay.
Boy, it's
Okay.
it's a much better looking hallway than it was.
Like I said, they
dank.
painted it
was
since the last
dark
time I
and
was there.
dank and yeah, it was gray and crappy and.
That stadium's got to be 80 years old. You'd think they'd have figured that out by now.
Well, they redid the press box.
I don't know if I've been up there since they redid the
I don't
press
think
box.
so. I like the old press box better. It had more charm.
Not a character.
Yeah, now it has.
Like when you went to that press box, you could actually picture Tom Harmon running because that's what it was set up like.
Yeah.
There's wood chairs.
I mean, we complained
and wood
about
tables.
it. Yeah, we
and-
complained about it till it was gone. And it's like, man, now it's. Remember, we had to go to the back of the press box to send our stories.
Yeah, yeah.
And like 5 guys would be waiting to use like one phone line.
I was gonna say I don't think they had a choice, but they had to refurbish it at least partially when internet came along.
Jeez. Their food was terrible. You know, Ohio State, we were used to great food in the press box. In Michigan, it was like hot dogs, and that was it. They thought they were doing us a favor with
Right.
Here. What was it, Michigan State? They give you a ticket for a hot.
Yeah.
Really? I need to show you a
Yeah,
ticket?
and then you had to go downstairs, and it's like
Oh, wasn't that Penn State where we had to go down
I've never
a level?
been to Penn State.
Huh?
I've never been
Oh,
to Penn
really?
State. At Michigan State, I was there when 2014 when Barrett had that monster game. But they gave you a ticket, and then they said, and I said, "Well, where is this?" And the guy said, "Well, it's downstairs." I'm like, I ain't dragging this stuff all the way up
Downstairs?
here. Hell with it.
Yeah. What's the best stadium you've covered a game at, Spence?
Best stadium.
Rose Bowl.
You've been to the Rose
Oh
Bowl,
yeah.
right?
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, you can't-
Spectacular.
Yeah, you can't beat that.
The Rose Bowl is the best stadium, period.
Yeah.
Pro or college.
Just the scenery and everything else. And
Yeah.
San Gabriel Mountains in the background. And
You drive there, you go to the Rose Bowl, and everybody goes to the parade. So you can't park anywhere near unless you're a tour bus. So everybody walks from the parade to the Rose Bowl.
Stadium.
Yeah.
That's my biggest regret, that I never went to the Rose Parade. I should have just gotten up at 5 o'clock,
Yep.
parked my car in my parking space at the stadium, walked over to the parade, and then gone back to
That's
the.
best parade. I'm not even a parade guy. That's best parade I've ever seen.
That's a huge regret.
We took the kids and you're right though, Spence. You got to get up at 4:30
Yeah,
or 5.
yeah,
It's
right,
dark out. It's cold.
I just didn't want to do that.
Yeah.
My other regret is when the Buckeyes played at the Liberty Bowl.
Memphis.
Remember Memphis. And who'd they lose to? Navy?
No, they beat them,
Air
but it was
Force, but
barely.
it was bare-
Oh no,
yeah.
you're right. They lost to Air Force
Air
when
Force,
Cooper was there.
yep.
Yeah, Robert Smith was on that team.
And it rained
Yeah.
the entire weekend. It
Yeah.
rained from the time I got off the plane until I got back on it. But my biggest regret is I didn't go to Graceland while I was there.
Yeah. Huh? I didn't think of that. Yeah.
Oh my God, that was a miserable trip. You just stayed in your hotel room the whole time because it was just
Something else
constant
happened.
rain.
Something happened that week too, John. I don't know if Cooper had to fire his staff to keep his job.
A bunch of guys left. A bunch of
Maybe
coaches
that's
left.
what it
and-
was. Yeah, I don't remember.
Yeah, they were understaffed. I can't remember
Yeah.
what happened. If guys took other jobs or yeah, you're right. I don't know why they were gone, but they were down like 3 assistant coaches.
That's the only reason I remember that game is
And I remember the Air Force. What are they? Cadets?
yeah. I don't
What are
know.
those called?
What is the Air Force?
Midshipmen, cadets,
They would be doing.
airmen.
Yeah.
They would be doing push-ups,
Push-ups.
for every touchdown. I mean, that
That's
was
kind of like this game. They controlled the clock, they controlled the ball, they controlled the tempo. Ohio State didn't really have an answer.
And again, that was one of those teams that had like Andy Gerd at linebacker. It's
Andy
like,
Gerd.
man.
I think you were
And
traumatized.
remember, they
by
didn't
that.
want to be there. Bobby Olive
Right,
came out and said,
right.
"We don't even want to go to this bowl game." And it's like, oh man, they're just they weren't in the right mindset from the get-go.
Every time, the same thing happened the year that Gene Smith said, "Oh, we're going to a bowl game." When they went 6-6 with Fickle, it's like they just went to that game and got smacked. It's like if the kids don't want to play,
Right.
you're going to get an effort like that.
I remember writing in a column where I actually stood up for Fickle because at one point they were 6-3, and I thought he's doing a pretty good job considering they were missing all those Boom Heron and the Vera
Terrell
Codes, all
Pryor,
those
they
guys.
didn't have Pryor.
I mean, the whole thing was a state of flux, and somehow he held it together. And they're 6-3, and I go, they got a chance to finish this. Of course, they didn't.
They lost
They
4
could have been
straight to end the
9-3,
season.
but I thought he
Yeah.
had a chance to keep that job. And then, of course, when things started going south, we knew it was going to be Urban Meyer coming in to save the day. But I'm glad Luke's having. I'm not sure. Like we talk about him at USC or something. I don't know. I think he's at a perfect.
Yeah, I don't know that. I mean, he's going to end up going to Penn State or Notre Dame or somebody like that. But I don't know how he will. I don't know.
Did he just re-up with Cincinnati though?
That's
all.
if you're
get out
Notre
of
Dame
that.
and you want Luke Fickle, you'll pay his buyout and he'll come. That's
heard
probably
somebody-
something they should have their
I heard somebody
recruits.
talking about Ryan Day moving, possibly.
Yeah, the
moving on.
Bears.
I mean, would you ever? I mean,
No. When
if I'm
he's
a college coach at one of these Power Fives, I mean,
Yeah.
I don't see the lure to go to one of these pro
That's
jobs.
the thing, though. Ryan Day's from New Hampshire. He has
Right,
no Ohio
right.
ties,
Yeah.
and he also coached in the NFL before.
Sure.
but he
So
But
he,
he has
convi-
financial ties.
he convinced
Yeah.
me with that press conference two years ago or last year when I walked away thinking, he said we're done. My wife and kids don't. We're done moving around. And I believed him. I mean, he sold me that day. I mean, now he could always change his mind and say, yeah.
if the Bears throw $15 million at you, that might change your
But
mind.
he sure had me convinced this is the last stop unless Ohio State wants him out.
And he loses this game and sees the reaction. He's won 24 straight Big Ten games. They're going to not remember the 24
Right, it won't
straight. They're
matter.
going to remember
Yeah,
this.
It will not matter.
Yeah, that
And
could
that might
change
change his
that could change
attitude,
his
too.
tune right away.
True.
But yeah, he convinced me that day. I can't even remember what day it was. I'm like, yeah, I think his wife didn't want to move anymore, and he didn't want to uproot the family. And I'm like,
I know Luke's wife's a big part of that, too. She's
yeah.
like an Ohio girl.
Yeah.
And
She wants to stay close to home.
yeah.
I don't know
I
what
still
Ohio
think there's a
State would
better
do at
chance
this
for-
point.
Yeah, I
If
still
he-
think there's a
They'd
better
go get
chance
Luke
for
Fickle,
Luke.
probably.
You don't think he would come?
I don't think they
In
would
a
go.
heartbeat.
I don't think they would go after him.
Who's that?
Fickle back to Ohio State. I don't think they would hire
I
him.
don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
he doesn't.
There
after
he is.
this,
There we go.
Hey, look at
Look
that.
at that,
5
5
yards.
yards. Holy crap.
after these explosive offenses, I mean, I
love second
it'd
and
be
5.
another offensive-minded guy like Day that they would bring in. Nobody on this staff, apparently.
Well, he wouldn't be the head coach, but Kevin Wilson's a pretty big reason
Yeah.
they're doing what they're doing, too.
Right. I mean,
Now he's going to pass.
Yeah, let's keep it on the ground here.
it's just
See what happens.
2 in a
Oh,
row.
there we go.
2 in a row.
Got 9 yards. Take your time.
3rd and 2 is okay with me. There's a lot of plays in the playbook for 3rd and 2.
this is 2 down territory for Day, or 4 down territory.
So it'd definitely be a swing pass here or something.
Lucas High School's favorite play, 3rd and 2.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well,
Except they block it better than that.
Oh, we tell him to run, and he runs 3 straight times at once.
What the hell is Day
What's he
thinking?
doing?
You got 3 great receivers. Throw the ball. Somebody get a block.
Yeah, just beat
Who
him.
missed it? Number
Yeah, just beat him.
53.
Whiteler.
53 got buried.
Yeah.
Yeah, I learned about the fickleness of fans back in the 80s when I was in Fostoria. Dick Kidwell had taken 12 teams to the playoffs. He won 2 state titles, then the state finals 4 or 5 times, and they were losing at home at halftime once. And some guy came up to his wife in the stands and said, he was drunk, and he goes, "When is your husband going to start throwing the ball?" And Dixie was a little woman. She reached out, and I watched from the press box, a short hook, boom, right to his middle. He doubled over, and she looked at him and she goes, "Got any questions?" He turned around and went back to his seat.
I remember you talking about that Dixie.
Oh, she
Dixie
was a
too.
pistol, man.
They said Woody Hayes' wife, Ann, same things, Woody had his number listed in the Columbus phone book. So the braver people would call after a loss and give his wife hell because she's the one that answered the phone. And some guy kept calling like every morning at 6 o'clock. And finally Ann Hayes said, "I'll tell you what, why don't you get your wife up? Tell her to come on over here with you and we'll just have it out over coffee."
Oh,
I remember sitting in Dick's, his Redmond room back at the time, is where I'd always watch film and stuff. And Dixie was doing tutoring with a tailback named Rodney Hampton. Rodney was 6'2", 215. And all of a sudden we hear a clattering and a smash and a yell from the kitchen. And we go run into the kitchen, and Dixie's got Rodney up against the wall, explaining to him that if he doesn't start paying attention, he's not going to get any more help. And Rodney was, "Yes, ma'am, no, ma'am, yes, ma'am, no, ma'am."
can't believe how that wasn't a hold. Those guys got tackled over
Being outrushed 123
Wow.
to 65.
there. Yeah.
That tells you right there you're losing in the trenches.
Right.
Well, they got 5 guys on the defensive line, kind of.
Look at the
Oh,
holes.
He might
jeez.
go.
He is. He's gone.
He's gone. See ya.
Yep.
Nope. They got an angle.
I got him
on
from behind.
It's troublesome.
Man,
Yes, it
right
is.
through the hole. How many times have they just blown right through
Right.
the
I
hole?
know.
Right
Right
there.
through the middle.
I mean, where's the linebacker? They're playing.
There
5
are no
They're
linebackers.
playing 5 yards off the ball.
There they are.
Somebody's got to flow to the ball.
Steel Chambers.
30 and steel
Lots
They
of
chain.
blocked them both.
They're doing a
Simon
great job.
ran himself out of it.
I mean, they are doing a great job up
It's,
front.
it's like Larry said, when you've got a converted running back and you're playing him most of the snaps at linebacker, what's that say about your linebacking crew?
Well, when your offensive line is able to double team and one guy can get off and go up to the linebacker like they're doing, you don't have a chance. They
That's
at
another
this.
look at that.
this.
got free linemen running downfield, man.
Oh,
You don't have a
yes.
chance.
How can you recruit Olave, Wilson, and Smith and Jigba on one side, and then the goof troop on the other side?
The goof troop.
They are
Well, they don't
getting
have
pushed
enough
around.
bodies.
That was quick.
They got 4
Yeah.
down linemen, 2 linebackers.
Well, they're just getting pushed around. Like, watch this. They are literally getting pushed.
Got him.
Gee,
Didn't even have to block
77's looking
him.
for somebody
Yeah.
to
He
hit.
didn't even have anybody.
Tell you what, they better put some seat in their pants.
Yeah.
Man,
Smith goes. Yeah.
I mean, that's just.
That is basic 1980s counter play. That's all that is, and they just beat
You
him
had
up.
too many guys on defense with numbers in the teens.
That's what I mean. Yeah, they're too small.
Right.
He's got some guys on the bench that can play. You're going to have to go a lot beefier in the defensive line. Get some of them pretty boy defensive backs out.
That's why I was saying
Put some linemen in and go play.
I wasn't convinced this defense was. Yeah,
they're
they've
getting
done it
dictated
against some
to.
bottom feeders, but
They're getting dictated to, no
getting
question
pushed
about
around.
it. And the crappy thing is, Michigan's going to go to the playoffs and just get housed.
Oh, man.
Oh,
Wait, Larry, the Ohio State fans already got Michigan in the college football playoff.
yeah, because they would get.
Come on,
they would
Phillips.
probably get Georgia in the semis, and
Well, I don't
Cincinnati
know.
would get
I don't-
Alabama.
Would Cincinnati be?
I think they would
ahead of
move up to
Michigan?
3. Oh, maybe no. You're right. Michigan
Not if
would.
Michigan wins a Big Ten.
Michigan would jump Cincinnati, so you'd
They'd have a lot better win than Cincinnati.
So who would you would have Georgia and Michigan? No, you would have
Well, it'd be
Alabama say
Georgia,
Michigan,
well-
and Georgia would play Cincinnati.
Man, it'd really shake it up for
What
sure.
happens if
yeah.
Michigan wins today and loses to Wisconsin next week?
Nobody from the Big
Then
Ten.
nobody
Doesn't,
from the
Big
Big
Ten
Ten's
doesn't get anybody
Doesn't
in.
get anybody.
Then
SEC
Oklahoma State would get in there.
Yeah, for
SEC
sure.
gets 3, including Vanderbilt.
Yeah, SEC. Yeah, 3
Wake
schools.
Forest is back in the discussion.
Right,
And
right.
Clemson comes in.
The SEC tournament.
Yeah, 4-loss Clemson.
You can't do a playoff without Brent Venables, right?
That's right.
Right.
Drink.
Oh, Brent Venables, get a drink. Wait, that was last year.
Yeah, that would be
What was
hilarious.
that? It was 2 years ago, and Herb Street was bragging on Venables the whole first half, and at halftime, LSU led like 38-21. It's like, what's the defensive coordinator's name for the team that's winning?
Hey, Kurt, it doesn't matter how many times you say his name, your kids aren't playing.
Jeez.
Turkey says if we lose this game, you're not allowed to do this broadcast ever.
Tell her I agree with her.
Whose dumb idea was this? Speaking of guys getting housed, there's what was his name? He plays at Oklahoma.
Oh, yeah.
I can't think of his name. He was a linebacker.
Brian Bosworth.
Yes,
Oh,
Brian
yeah.
Bosworth.
Yeah, that's a good commercial.
Yeah.
I like your swing set. Well, that's a different design.
See, that's what we need. We need more of that and less of that.
Man, the first half started out as a worst case scenario, and the second half has too.
Yeah.
I feel like we're any minute from morphing into R-rated territory with Larry. He's
You can just see it building, can't you?
this is his
Larry's
calm-
already got Michigan in the college football
Yeah.
playoffs.
Yeah,
so
that's
there you
right.
go.
Now, Stroud's going to have a good drive this time. They'll come back. They'll have a good drive. They'll get a stop and score. Right. He'll be fine. He'll be fine.
Plenty of time there.
You're a big play away.
Question, audience question, how did Ohio State stop the Heisman hopeful from MSU last week and let Michigan run through us?
Go ahead, John.
They,
a good one.
It's a good
they
question.
got the lead.
But yeah, they got the lead so fast that they kind of took him. I was joking that Michigan State's defense took their own running back out of the game because they fell behind so fast that he wasn't a factor.
I think it's a personnel issue. I think that, years past, it's been the Ohio State up whole front seven has always been, in my eyes, better than Michigan's. This year, I don't think so. I think Michigan's personnel is just better up front.
And these guys should not have lost to Michigan State. They were
No,
up 16.
no.
That was
Yeah.
kind of a fluky. I mean, they should be undefeated. They're more physical than Michigan
Right.
State. I mean, they're just better across the board.
We threw it to a
Tight
tight
inside.
end. Holy crap.
That's
The
coming
flag.
back.
Tight
They
inside.
tried.
5 more yards.
I hate that thing. The thing behind the back to put your hands in and warm it up.
Oh, that's 10.
That's a whole.
How do you hold on a 3-step drop?
Seemed like there's enough time to hold. Yeah.
Who'd they call?
Holding the Hutchison kid, he's coming on that end.
Yep.
Yep, he
Petite
got him
Yeah,
too.
good
Sam
call.
got him.
Yes,
Yep.
sir. Oh, move your feet, man. Move your feet.
Gosh. It seemed like he got him by the face mask,
did.
too. Just kind of held him.
Horse collar. Horse collar on the defensive end.
Gosh, how many times have they been behind the sticks like
Right.
this? It's crazy.
Travion.
I like 11-yard runs.
Derek.
Can we get a full back and go
Right.
power eye?
They score here, they go for 2.
I don't know if you start chasing points this early, do you?
I was going to say, and Ohio State's terrible in the red zone. That'd be their weakest thing.
That's true. Nice.
There we go.
Nice.
Slants.
3 guys to tackle him.
Well, like Effie said, that's what they wanted to do on the goal line. Michigan
Right.
took it away.
Took it away. Well, if Shroud can settle down, I mean, the kid's got pinpoint accuracy. You
Right.
know, if you get open, he's going to get it to you. If he can just settle down there, but he's seeing a lot more pressure than he
Yeah,
used to.
he is. He's not throwing on balance a lot.
Yeah, he's seeing a lot more pressure than he's used to. You give him a clean pocket, he can make plays.
I'll pick you apart.
Yeah, for sure.
Another slant.
I mean, that's easy money.
That is. I mean,
It's easy because you can't you can't guard those guys in space.
Right.
And if he's got a clean pocket, he's gonna put it right on him. So it's
Run it. Nope.
forget that, buddy.
That's offsides. Ohio State again.
Oh, jeez.
Really?
They can't get out of their own way.
You serious? Man, that is-
Procedure.
Wow.
If you can't block anybody, at least wait till the ball's snapped. You know?
That's 2 penalties on this series alone.
Right.
that's
Pettit Frere.
Someone wants to know what it's going to take to turn this around and get the win.
They're going to have to stop Michigan's ground game. It hasn't happened yet. That's the toughest thing to stop too. If you can't stop it, it's not like you can flip a switch and suddenly win in the trenches.
not much there.
Here we are.
Well, I still say they've got to figure out a way to continue with the running game. They can't abandon it. It's
Right.
too early. They're only essentially down 1 score, so they can't abandon the running game. But they're going to have to keep running it. But Shroud's going to have to. They're going to have to protect him, and they're going to win with the quarterback play. Oh, son,
And Hutchinson's having a monster game.
he is. I'm telling you.
That shows right there he's not a natural runner. He had a lane to the left, and he didn't see it that way.
I'm telling you, they just flat better interior. They have better interior linemen. Just overall, they're just better personnel. Oh, jeez!
Snap it over.
That thing was fired.
Not a great punt.
Holy smokes.
Holy cow. 22.
All right, so we need
This
McNamara
becomes a
to.
very big series.
Ladies
won't
and
see it
gentlemen,
pass.
Larry's about to become R-rated. if Michigan scores again. Hide the women and children. Just letting you know.
And the knives
And the forks.
sharp objects and
I think you guys are keeping me grounded.
There,
If I was at
there.
home, it'd be ugly.
People wonder where your emotions are. We're all in this together.
Michigan scores again, he's going to wear his pizza on his sleeve. Could be worse. Could be Saturday.
Nobody even wants to eat. Look at all that pizza over there. The Buckeyes are playing us right out of our appetite.
okay, Carl, how about just a little taste of what you're going to be singing?
No way, no way. That's got to be a full.
No,
we
that's
want that to be a
that's-
full surprise.
We're saving that for Effie's show. Man.
Have you already started rehearsing?
We had a rehearsal Sunday night on Zoom. It was the first time Effie's actually heard me sing.
Oh, he's rethinking this whole.
He has recast the spot.
No, it's perfect, perfect.
You doing anything right now? Is it Christmas?
No, I'm not. They're doing a show at the Playhouse, but I did my Christmas show back in July with A Christmas Story.
Oh, that's right, July. That was the first time that they really opened up, right?
And that was way too many lines for an old guy like me.
Really?
Yeah, he talked way too damn
I
much.
was watching some of that last night again, flipping around the TV.
Yeah.
Oh, the dialogue.
Well, imagine that in the movie you never see the narrator, but he
Right.
talks all the time.
Right.
In the play, the narrator's on stage,
You're-
and he talks all
All
the
the
time.
time.
Yeah. But yeah, it was. Effie has assembled a great group of folks, and
Who played
next
the
spring we're gonna have fun.
Who played the dad?
John Mosier at the Playhouse this year. He had done the narrator 10 years ago. When
Maybe
the Playhouse
he's
did
who
it.
was because we saw it at the Playhouse. Was he hurt?
Yes, he broke his leg
Okay.
right before the show.
Okay. I remember the guy that was the narrator.
Yeah,
was,
so he sat in a chair.
Yeah. And what? And Doug,
Doug played
the dad.
the
That
dad,
is
Maureen Brown.
Okay,
He
that
played-
is
played his
that
wife.
is the
Yeah.
version we saw.
Yeah. No, I think I've been typecast as the older white guy from the hills kind of thing, who doesn't really understand what life is.
Is the dialogue exactly?
I just read the words, man.
I mean, the exact dialogue from the movie.
Oh, now you're talking about two different
Oh,
things.
Christmas Story.
Yeah, Christmas Story. It's similar to the movie, but not exactly. There's some changes.
Oh, okay.
No, but Effie's written a great show, and we're going to do it at Mansfield Senior
But
High.
your only speaking part is singing.
No, there's
No.
some talking.
Oh, there's.
Yeah.
He talks too.
He talks too.
Yeah, I'm
Talks
like
and
a-
everything.
Yeah, I'm like a parrot, man.
Look at that catch.
But it's only a comedy when you're.
Yeah, yeah.
On
It's just real
stage.
serious stuff.
It'll be fun.
Oh, we're back, and Michigan's on the move. And there's Harrison getting
Nice
shoved
catch.
out of the way.
Yes,
That
it
is a great
was.
catch. He never touched that with his left hand.
Nope.
That whole thing's with his right.
Stick him.
Blitnikoff
I
Award.
was gonna say he should be up for the Blitnikoff Award. I don't see any linebackers. So that's it. They're just going with Simon and
Steel
Steel
Chambers.
Chambers. That's it. Where's this Eichenberg?
Uh-oh. Yep.
Oh, jeez.
Had a blitz and
They're
didn't
lucky
get
that
there.
didn't go for 6.
Burke.
They are not getting home when they blitz.
That's a hole. Didn't get called.
Man, he's just laying it in there too.
Yeah.
I mean, this
Every
guy
shot
couldn't.
that he's taking,
Yeah,
he's
he
hitting.
couldn't have a better. Outside of that interception, he's just putting the ball right on the money.
That's McCarthy in there.
Yeah, you're right. It was.
Oh, it was McCarthy?
Yeah.
Uh-oh. Going for all of it. And he's wide
Oh,
open.
Jeez.
It's 1995 all over again.
Yes, it
Like
is.
that.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, we had Terry Glenn, Eddie George,
Yep.
Bob Hoying. They had the best
Orlando
offense in the
Pace.
Big
Yep.
Ten, and
Yep.
just
Yep.
what was it, 31-23?
Yep. And they were dictated to that whole game, too. I don't think Michigan's looked this good offensively.
I know. It's like
Any
they
game
haven't
I've
all
seen
year.
them
I haven't
play.
seen this
Oh.
Cade McNamara all year long.
No.
It's like they're
Not
making
going
him
down
look
the
like
field.
Tom Brady.
Yeah, not going down the field like
Need a pick or a fumble.
Where would they be without that pick
Oh, they'd
to
be
start
down-
the game?
The
It'd
game
be
be
over.
over. Jeez, they're just.
You gotta start hitting.
We got to start talking about who the next defensive coordinator is going to be at Ohio State. It's not, they're going to fire this entire staff except for Larry Johnson. He'll be the only guy they keep. Everybody, the linebacker coach, DB
What the hell
coach.
is he losing his mind about?
I don't know, but get an Ohio State guy.
Got second and goal from the 1.
This is their chance. Get 5 Michigan guys ejected.
Yeah. Get the whole offensive
the
line
whole-
ejected. Get the tight end ejected.
Now Ohio State players are
relax.
fighting themselves.
Yeah.
Didn't an Ohio State player throw a punch at his own guy?
Woody Hayes and Charlie Bauman, except it's man on man in the defense.
Jeez. Oh.
You know what? Quit chirping and start playing.
I know, exactly. What do you guys got to talk about?
Oh.
I can see how you might be bothered by that, but Oh, yeah.
now
That whole offensive line's
Yeah.
got to get tossed.
Yeah, I was gonna say that.
Oh, yeah. They're all gone.
I don't think they threw a
entire
flag.
I didn't see
It's
that.
our
Sorry,
Michigan
we'll get
State
that.
The
offense.
entire Michigan offensive line, gone.
Yeah, I could have sworn he swung up.
He
Oh, it
did.
looked like he was swinging at
Yeah.
Zach Harris.
That's Harbaugh's favorite pose.
What's he want?
Who knows? Your guy, hold man.
Yeah.
Shut up, Harbaugh.
Yeah, please, just shut up.
Did he rip the guy's helmet off in the end zone? Is that what it's?
Everything's going to be offsetting, so it doesn't
Yeah.
matter.
Turn your mic on. Unsportsmanlike
He
conduct.
gets his helmet ripped off, and he gets unsportsmanlike
It's got
conduct.
to be going both ways. Apparently not.
And it's not.
Just on Michigan.
Yeah. No,
No, just on
Ohio
Ohio
State.
State.
Oh, they called it on Ohio State.
Yeah, he got tossed.
Uh-oh. We're going to see the double bird like we did. Who was that? Who
The
was,
offensive lineman?
yeah, from Ohio State.
That was Hall.
Yeah.
Who was it? Yeah,
Hall. I
That
think
was early in the game.
headed for
Hall was his last name.
the tunnel.
Yeah.
Marcus Hall.
Marcus Hall.
I was standing behind the Ohio State bench when he did that.
I remember seeing. I'm like, oh my gosh.
He was just telling the Wolverines they were number one. I don't.
Maybe
Wait.
he didn't get
I
tossed
don't
if
think
he's
he
still
got
there.
tossed. I think he's just unsportsmanlike.
First and goal.
They don't need him in for this. They're just going to run up the middle.
Oh, he just walked in.
Touchdown.
Yeah.
Missed tackles.
I think that's ball game.
Would you not do that? We have people
Ohio State,
watching this.
Ohio
We don't
State,
want them to leave.
Ohio State has scored one touchdown in what?
We're
2.5 quarters,
We're
and
going
they're
to
going to
talk to you
score
about
3 to
broadcasting.
finish
You,
this game.
got to convince people to stick around.
What
not
was that
leave.
year they were down 42
Yeah.
nothing going into
Yeah.
the fourth
Saquon
quarter
Barkley
and won the
had beaten
game
them like
49
3
to
years in a row.
42?
Yeah. Yeah, what are you talking about?
No, they were playing a top 5 team then. That was at Minnesota, and I was in college when that happened. It was 35-0, I think.
Pass to
35-7.
Jim Palmer, Loudonville's own Jim Palmer,
Yep, at Minnesota.
to help
Here's-
trigger the comeback.
It was typical Michigan fans. My brother-in-law, I haven't heard from him in 3 weeks. About the game. So now he texted me, "Oh, what's the score? I need help."
What's the score?
Right.
Right? I mean, a couple years ago, Penn State had him dead to rights, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
16 points down in the fourth quarter.
Yep. I mean, it's still a two-score game.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
It's a two-score game, guys.
Right.
It may seem like it's 4-score game.
It does, doesn't it?
Four
That's why I
score
said-
and 7 Michigan
That's what I said
scores to
earlier. I
go.
think a 2-score game is a lot different in this.
Well, just
the way
because
this
they've
is
been
being
controlling the
played.
ball the way they have.
But that was their chance. They needed to get that whole offensive line tossed.
Yeah,
It didn't happen. So
Couldn't even get him
Hell, they got a penalty. Ohio State
Yeah.
got a penalty.
he's getting his leg held.
5'9", 195-pound defensive back against the entire Michigan offensive line, and he gets called for a penalty.
He did go after 7.
Well, I think he ripped the kid's head,
Yeah, he pulled
helmet
his
off,
helmet off in the end zone.
even though the kid grabbed his leg or something.
Kid had it coming.
Kid did have it coming.
Did you see Rita Moreno's in that, Spence?
What's that?
She was
story?
in the original, and now
I
she's
know.
in this
Yeah,
one.
She's
this
like
is
110?
This is 60
She's
years
like
later.
92, but she's like 90 going on 50.
Yeah.
I told my wife, oh, I can't wait to see that. Steven Spielberg's version of West Side. She goes, you're going by yourself. I'm not going. My wife hates musicals. She goes, I hate when you're talking and all of a sudden you're breaking the song. It's like, I'm like,
Sounds so much like my wife.
Yeah,
She's the
she
same.
goes,
She
"We
would
would've
literally
never
walk out
dated."
of the room when that happened.
she goes, we never would have dated in high school because I was on all these theater productions with the high school.
Right.
She goes, well, I never would have looked at you twice. Yeah, I hate musicals.
My wife and I went to see the Nutcracker once up in Toledo.
Now she likes that kind of stuff.
That's ballet.
We were sitting there for like the first 15, 20 minutes, and she looked at me, and I looked at her, and I said, where are the words? Somebody sitting next to me goes, there are no words, it's a ballet. I looked at my wife, and I said, we got to get the hell out of here.
So this is still one of my favorite stories. So a few years ago, they had To Kill a Mockingbird at the Renaissance. And we decided at the last minute we were going to go up and buy those like an hour before the show. They put these tickets on sale. You can get them dirt cheap. So we get there. I bought the tickets. We get to our seats, and there's Larry. Larry's like 2 rows in front of us, and he paid like full price.
And
Six-
how much
6
was
months
costing?
ago.
Yeah.
I said $35 a ticket. He said, "Well, we got these.
We
for
got
10
probably
bucks."
8 or something like that. He's literally only 2 rows in front of him. I could reach out and touch Larry. Didn't you at one point reach back and hand me a popcorn? I go, yeah, we just bought these 10 minutes
Can somebody tell a story where I don't come out on the short end of the stick before the day's over?
We could tell a story about the bowl game or a national championship game where your luggage was lost in Guam.
Guam. They sent my luggage to Guam. That was the 41-14
So
game.
Larry and I are sharing a room, and it's like 2 days, and he's got no luggage. I'm like, I'm gonna kick you out of this room and start to smell.
You get aromatic in here.
Is your luggage ever gonna get here?
It's in Guam.
They didn't even get the right continent.
Yeah. How did your luggage end up in Guam? Jeez.
Oh, don't fumble it.
Oh, jeez.
And don't do that either.
I tell you, one of my favorite John Spencer stories. Ohio State's playing at, I think it was at Missouri or somewhere, early in the season, and we had just started Bigger, Better Buckeye coverage. And John calls me from the press box right before the game to tell me that his cord had broken, or the thing that goes into his computer. And he goes, "It's broken. I don't know how I'm going to send my story." I said, "John, I can't reach all the way from here to Missouri to hand you a new cord. You're going to have to ask around the press box." Because I go, "Okay, fine. I got it."
There were so many games where I missed so much action dealing with
Technical
issues.
Yeah.
Entire halves. God.
Yeah, this is it.
Got to score. Can't be a field goal.
That's right.
Oh, there's a Cade Stover sighting right there.
All right.
I was going to
They're
say, you're
running.
right. It cannot be a field goal.
Yeah, they're running. Kurt's got that.
We're going to run it.
Stover's on the field, they're
Running
going
it
to
on
run.
Stover's side.
Lexington's Cade Stover, number 19.
And Mayan Williams, I'm not sure that's the right.
You know, he was one of the better defensive players in high school that I've ever
It was.
I know.
When Cade hit people at Lexington,
Oh,
it made a
no.
different sound.
That's 2 drops for him today.
Jeez.
And I get why they did what they did at Lex, but I think that the problem was he was playing a position in high school that didn't exist in college. You know?
Exactly.
Right.
He was
Well,
a
yeah,
combination safety,
Yeah,
linebacker,
yeah, I mean,
defensive
I don't-
end.
That position
Exactly.
doesn't exist anywhere, but
Lining up, you can see everything and then go get the football.
right,
Right.
that's all he did.
12 yards off the ball.
Right.
Wherever it goes, you go.
Yeah, that's 2 drops
That's
now.
a big. He was early.
That's a tough.
And they have no time to think downfield throws.
No.
Everything's short.
And
Yeah,
Stroud has
that's a
not
good
been
point.
sharp.
They
Everything's
can't
short.
stretch the defense because he
No.
doesn't have time to do it.
Seems
Okay,
to me
so
this
here's-
is the time you put in both tight ends and chip those guys because those 3 guys can get open,
Right.
the wide receivers, right?
Well, here's a thought. Why don't you roll Stroud to one side, buy some time, get the downfield throw then?
He just doesn't seem comfortable on the move.
Yeah, I don't think he is either for whatever reason.
Get out. That was a big catch. It was huge.
They're going to need somebody like Anthony Gonzalez climbing over the back of a Michigan,
yeah.
catching a ball off a helmet.
Ooh. I mean, they are all over these
Yep. Even the DBs
guys.
are
Right.
Because they're not worried
Right
about
up
the
in their
downfield
face.
throw.
Yeah,
That's true.
Jump every route.
they can sit on every route.
That's true. They're playing with 2 safeties, so nothing deep.
Again, short. Oh, nice move.
Attaboy. It's in the flat.
You go to Winton Woods? Is that where he's
Yeah.
from?
I would still have Henderson on the field. He's the more explosive.
Yeah, that's-
We need to get back in this in a hurry.
Mayan Williams has better calves. Oh,
Offsides
Jesus.
again.
Yeah. Moved
Are
again.
you?
Illegal procedure.
What is that? 3 or 4 of those
Oh,
today.
that's more than that. That's about 5 of those, at least.
He's checking his phone to see if the Bears are calling.
Jeez, are you kidding me?
Well, they're taking their turns, aren't they? That's
are.
Jones.
Yeah.
Before it's Petitfrere.
Who was the guy, Larry, the lineman, all the false starts that one year?
J.B. Shugerts.
He was good for a couple of games.
He was terrible.
J.B. Shooters. Oh.
There he goes.
Somebody else had a terrible game here recent. Was that Paris? What's his name?
For the Buckeyes?
For the Buckeyes.
Paris Johnson.
Paris Johnson.
Yeah.
He had a horrible. Was that when they played Clemson? He probably had about 5 of them.
Well, DeJuan Jones is big enough. If he just sits still, it takes people a while to run around him. Guy's like 6'8", 350. You don't have to block anybody. Just
They
make
got
him run
one-on-one
around.
up at the top.
Well, they're
They're
going.
in the slot right there. There you go.
Nice.
Well, at least he went to the marker.
That's Garrett Wilson.
Wasn't a 3-yard route.
But did you see how Michigan, everybody squeezed the slant?
Yeah.
Everybody backed up in the slant zone.
They are not at all worried about a deep throw.
This is probably Harbaugh's
the tight
best
end
coaching
who's
I've
outside.
seen him doing.
Well, the biggest thing he did is get rid of Don Brown.
Yeah, he was a one-trick pony.
Uh-oh.
He's gonna get sacked.
Jeez.
Anytime he tries to go,
Hutchinson again.
They actually thought about going downfield that time.
yeah, he might end
Is
up in
Hutchinson
New York.
become a Heisman
That's what I
candidate
think.
now?
He may end up in
Holy
New York
cow.
after
How
this
about,
game.
and I
To
think
be the
Coach
Outland
said this.
Trophy
Why
winner.
don't
Why don't you
chip?
put a tight end to that side and chip that guy?
Right.
Yeah.
You can't let a defensive end live in your backfield. Tight end, running back, somebody chip the kid.
This is like Chase Young.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
So he's had 3 sacks. Yeah, 3 sacks. today.
Just
And they still got nobody out there to help.
he's just dominating the game.
Oh,
Oh
Lord.
my!
Mayan Williams, why is he in the game?
Mayan Williams on a sweep on 2nd and 16.
They thought it was Henderson.
That's your
Oh.
that's brain cramp time there.
Yeah.
Well, loss today cost Stroud the Heisman.
Absolutely.
Yeah, he'll be out of it.
Yeah.
yeah,
He won't even go to New York after
right,
this.
right.
Well, he might go to New York.
It's
They
not
have to
like
have
he's
like-
playing bad. It's not. This isn't on Stroud.
He just doesn't have any time to do anything. There he's on the move. And that's why he doesn't go on
Yeah,
the move.
he just
He catch that.
wow, wow,
Holy
unbelievable.
smokes.
I didn't think that had any chance.
No chance.
There it was.
Right, like you just that's the big play they needed because he was not open.
He came around the defender's back and got it.
One arm, didn't he?
Yeah, he wrapped himself. Look at
Now
that.
that is pass interference.
That's not off the helmet, but that's pretty close. Gosh, that's a great catch.
Oh, they're going to have to review it now. Let's take another 30 minutes.
What are they reviewing?
I don't think it hit the ground, but it matters.
Let's take a look at it. I guess not.
So you still got an appetite. That's good.
That's good.
We don't have to call in the paramedics.
Yeah. Neat.
I think the worst was in '93. They were undefeated. They had tied Wisconsin. They go to Ann Arbor and get beat 28-0, and they didn't even show up for that.
I think Woodson had a couple of picks in
No,
that.
that was a couple years later.
Oh, was
Woodson
it?
was '95.
Oh, 95, that's right.
But that was bad too. That was the Biaka-Batuka game.
Mm-hmm. 93. And of course,
They can't even keep
91,
them back all straight.
the Desmond Howard game, that was where they gave Cooper a 2-year contract extension before the game.
And then lost 31-3.
And remember, at halftime, they were way down, and Cooper's wife was in the press box in the food line and stuff, and we're like, this has got to be awful awkward. because they had just announced that he was getting this, and they're getting blown out. I kept thinking about that a couple of weeks ago when they said they were going to give the Michigan State coach, Mel Tucker, a 10-year, $95 million contract extension. I go, you might want to wait till after
he plays
the
some
Ohio
games.
State game to see about. I haven't heard anything more about that. I kept reading that it's a done deal, it's already signed, and I hear others say, no, nothing's been signed.
I think he's agreed to it. I don't know if he signed it.
And that was 2 boosters.
Yeah,
better hurry up and
yeah,
get
he
his
better
name
hurry
on
up.
That was 2 boosters. We're going to foot the whole bill for that.
Yeah, that's
Because
right,
they said,
I heard
oh,
that.
can you give 95? Yeah, because 2 boosters said, we'll foot the bill.
They're saying USC's going to offer like $12 million for their coach. You know, if that's the figures that they're going to get, then
And Ryan Day's like, well, until today. It's like, where's my? You're giving Mel Tucker $95 million.
What
I've
am I
never
worth?
lost a Big Ten game
Right.
until today. I'm just quoting Larry. I still think they're coming back to win.
Oh, yeah. Go down my mind. Whoops. Not
Jeez, there's
quite.
only 47 seconds left in this quarter. It's getting late early.
Right.
Yeah, that was a heck of a catch. Yeah, that's a catch.
Ooh, I don't know. The tip of that thing looked like it hit the ground.
Can't see it.
Oh,
Can't see it, you can't call it.
Nope.
Yeah, I guess not.
Yeah, there we go.
Here we go.
Let's go.
Put it in the end zone, right
There,
here.
that's the break we needed.
Give it to Mine Williams. Oh,
Make a play.
Make somebody miss.
Tell you what.
It's 5 yards.
Stroud thrown for 263 yards. That's hard to believe.
that's a hard-earned 263
Yeah.
yards.
31
Certainly
attempts.
has
Just like Oregon, he threw for 400 yards and they didn't score.
Yeah.
Is Henderson hurt?
No, they kind of give him. They rotate those guys.
Give him a
but
series every.
seems
Oh
like a-
no!
Oh,
Jeez, every.
Just throw it away.
Throw it away.
Yeah.
Jeez, almost got it.
man, you know what that reminded me of?
What is
State
this,
championship
man?
game.
Yes. Cam Todd
Oh, please.
trying to track
Yeah.
down
Please.
Aaron
Cam
Snaps.
Todd watching the ball sail by.
Oh, God.
On back-to-back snaps, too,
Yes.
wasn't it?
Yeah.
That was such
Oh, that was a
disaster.
backup center, wasn't it? In the game,
No,
weren't they
Jawan
down?
was. Oh, I don't think that he was the backup. He was
Oh,
the starter
okay.
at one point.
At one point, but he hadn't been He hadn't been playing center for
Right.
some games.
3rd and 6.
Oh, jeez.
Man up top.
It's
well, you're
almost-
definitely in 4-down territory. So
3rd and 6 or 7 down
I'd
territory.
feel a lot better if it was 3rd and 6 against the Browns defense.
Yeah. Or the Packers. They blitzed and they blitzed
Right
3rd
into
and
the
6
hole.
and they ran
right
into
into
a
the hole.
blitz.
Yeah.
Mine
That
was-
suggests that. Yeah. I mean, they were just trying to get half of it, right? I mean,
Yeah.
they're going for it here. Right.
I don't like the fact that Mine Williams is in the game instead of Trayvon Henderson.
Yeah, I don't.
I know you want to alternate, but it's not like Trayvon's worn out.
Yeah. He had 10 carries.
Yeah. You know, when Herschel Walker was at Georgia back and they won the national title against Notre Dame, they asked him before the Notre Dame game, they said, do you ever get tired of carrying the ball? Because he was carrying it 25, 30 times a game. Herschel said, no, I didn't have it.
There you go.
That's what Trayvon Henderson's got to be. You got to
Yeah,
give the
I
ball
don't-
25, 30 times a game.
Yeah,
That was
I
a-
don't see that. I don't see why he doesn't. He's the type of back you keep him in until he gets tired,
Right.
Right.
and then you bring him out for not necessarily a whole series, just enough to where he's recovered, and you put him back in a game like this anyway.
He's going to get 3 yards, 3 yards, 4 yards, 80 yards.
Right.
You know? I remember Carlos Snow when he played at Cape down in Cincinnati Academy of Physical Education. Fostoria played him in the state semifinals. He carried the ball 27 times for 291 yards and 3 touchdowns. The 3 touchdowns were runs of 3 over 80 yards. I told the coach, I said, you guys stopped him on 24 of those. He goes, yeah, but look what happened on the other
Right.
team.
Right.
Great running backs. I mean, you just got to keep giving them the ball.
Yep. That's the way it was with Robert Smith.
Yeah.
He might be averaging 2-3 yards a carry, but he was going to bust one, and all of a sudden he's over 100. You just got these guys have to get in the rhythm. Who's the guy? I can't even draw on a blank from 2 years ago. Rushford. 2,000 yards.
J.K. Dobbins.
Yeah, Dobbins.
Right.
He was clearly the best back, but for a couple years they
Right.
messed around with
Weber.
Weber. It's
yeah.
like, no, Dobbins, he needs to get into a rhythm. And then once it was all his, the job was all his, 2,000 yards.
I said that about when Trey Sermon started playing, even before he got rolling, and they were alternating him and Master Teague. I'm like, it's clear that Sermon is the
Yep.
better.
Right.
Right.
I
He just had better lateral movement. He was just better for that offense, and they were alternating.
Yeah, I don't know why they do that. Drives me crazy.
Sometimes can't see the forest for the trees.
Where's Denzel Ward at now? Is he playing for the Browns?
He's a Cleveland
Sometimes.
Okay.
Sometimes.
When he's healthy.
Yeah.
Browns. Well, he had that pick against Joe Burrow, right?
Yep.
Didn't he?
99
he
yard.
took it 99, yeah.
There has been, and I don't know if it's just that maybe I'm paying more attention, but the injuries seem to be.
Oh, I know.
Oh,
I don't know if
ridiculous.
it's because we were talking about that. I don't know if it's so many teams did not
Oh,
have their
man.
guys play in the preseason. You know, everybody took the preseason off, didn't play in any preseason games, and all of a sudden you're stuck in a regular season game and guys are getting hurt. It's like you need some of that preseason getting hit.
I read an article that it was kind of off. It didn't make sense at first when I thought about it. I'm like, but these guys are training so much now. Like, there is such a thing as to be overtrained. Like,
Right.
because, like, used to be they use training camp to come in and get yourself in shape, and now these guys are training all year round, and it looks good, but now it's like your muscles are worn thin. You get out here in the game, you take a hit.
So many ACLs.
Right,
It's like, oh
right,
my
yeah.
gosh.
I like to see all those Michigan fans cheering and happy.
Especially this late in the
They
game.
never do like they never do any kind of like yellow out or
No.
blue out, which I hate those things. But
Yeah, I do too.
Michigan doesn't do that at all.
No. They're too hoity-toity.
Yeah.
It's Michigan.
Now Travion's back in there.
Finally. On 4th and 4, you bring him.
4th and 4, they're going to pass anyways.
Better back, blocking back, I guess.
This is what Aaron Rodgers is talking about. This isn't a quarterback reading a defense. This is Ryan Day reading a defense.
Right.
Right.
Geez, they don't even need to blitz to get there.
There it
Nice.
is.
Nice.
Anthony Gonzalez.
That was huge.
Yeah. He's a big first round,
You see
big
that
time
pressure?
first round pick.
Can he come out this year?
No,
Okay.
they get him back for one more year.
There you
Touch-
go.
Oh, he throws it behind him.
Terrible throw.
For the love of Rucker.
He had a clean pocket, too. What in the hell?
Oh, God.
Throw it
yeah,
to
we
him,
know it's
Stroud.
your fault.
I know you're not used to throwing to tight ends, but he's
Gee,
open.
Merry Christmas.
All right, let's go.
I think he was kind of shocked he was at
I know.
Yeah,
There was no one over there. No one.
How about a run? How about a drop play right here? Drop play is going to open wide up.
15 play
23
drive.
toss power trap.
There you go.
There you
Touchdown.
go. Get in there.
Oh,
You know what?
Well-
You got it down to the inch.
he got two
Now I want to
plays
see
get-
Mayan Williams.
3rd and goal from the 1.
No, he's like, let's go, same play.
Yep. Let's
Hank
run it.
Stram, Super Bowl III, mic'd up on the sideline. 23 toss power trap. It's going to open up
There's a
wide.
fullback. There's a fullback.
A fullback sighting. Oh my gosh.
And
At
the
Ohio
tight end.
State?
And the tight end.
Ohio
Two
And
State's
then
tight ends.
over
Stover's
2 in
in
the red
there,
zone
so they
today.
got two tight ends and a fullback.
Oh, my God.
And they get
Under
knocked-
center? I
Where's
don't know.
Pete
Have we seen
Johnson?
this all year?
Yeah.
Where's Pete Johnson? There it is.
Get in there.
Touchdown.
young fella. All right. Here we go. Put
didn't
your
give it to
hands
him.
up.
Oh, come on. He's in.
Yeah.
There it is.
Put your hands up.
Don't come up. Don't make me come up there and call it for you.
Right.
Too early.
I think it's too early still.
Take
Yeah,
the
you
point.
got to.
Take the
Keep it a
point.
one-score game.
Let's see what Cade Stover does here.
Nothing.
Gets
Kept
beat
that guy
out.
from-
Yeah, kinda, you know, he slowed him
Get
down.
your head on the
Slow
other
him down
side.
enough,
He
right?
slowed him
There
down.
you
That's
go.
all it took.
Get your head on the other side.
That's the job.
Travion Henderson, what do you know? Put him in the game and scores touchdowns.
Oh, come on. Another review.
Hey, there's a
Mullet.
mullet head. Kid from Texas.
Yeah, that's got to go.
Quinn Ewers.
I'm sorry, that mullet's got to go.
No. It's okay if you're the 4th-string quarterback, but son, next year you need to cut your hair.
Ooh,
That is a touchdown.
Also, Cade went up against Hutchinson.
That's a touchdown. No, you can't overturn it.
There's no way
Yeah,
you
and
can
it's
overturn that.
call it a touchdown. It'd be hard to.
he's got the ball in the wrong arm.
Hutchinson is quick, though. My goodness.
Jeez, he's got the ball in the
See how
wrong
quick he
arm.
got down the line on that? What's that Hutchinson? 95. Who's
Ugh.
that?
That's got to be over the line.
He's in.
Yeah, how are you going to reverse
Yeah.
that?
Right.
Yeah,
There's
you
not a
can't-
whole
you
lot you
can't
can do to.
reverse that.
Hey guys, who's your all-time Ohio State running back Mount Rushmore?
This is
Repeat the question.
Oh, obviously,
Who's the all-time Ohio State Mount Rushmore running back room?
Archie,
Archie.
Eddie,
Um,
Dobbins.
no.
Really? 2,000-yard back? You're not going
Hopalong
to
Cassidy won a Heisman.
Maurice Claret's body
Yeah,
of work
but-
wasn't great
Chick
enough,
Harley.
or else he
Chick
probably
Harley. The stadium should be named after him.
Boom Heron.
oh,
I like Pete
people
Byers
need to
an awful
understand
lot.
that there's a reason there's something called Ohio Stadium, and it's because of Chick Harley.
That's right. Yep.
Chick
Yeah, but
Harley-
you can't put a lot of these old timers on there over.
Well, his impact
John.
on the
See, I'm
game
a
was
Dobbins
way
guy,
more
too.
than
I
anybody
Dobbins
back
has
in
got
the
to be
50
on there.
years.
2,000 yards. Zeke's on there
I-
too.
yeah, but I
Can we
like-
get 8 guys on
What is
there?
it, the Mount Rushmore of the last 10 years? Come on.
Well,
We're
if the
talking
best
about a program with 120
if the
years
best
of
backs
history.
are in the last 10 years, it's like
I'm gonna stick with Chick Harley. I'm gonna throw out another name you haven't said yet.
Harley.
John Brockington.
No. No.
Don't
First
even
round
know
pick,
much
but
about John Dawkins.
If you just went with Heisman Trophy winners, you'd have Janowitz,
You can't.
Hopalong Cassidy, Archie Griffin,
Eddie George.
and Eddie George. That would would
Eddie,
just
Archie,
be Heisman Trophy winners.
Zeke and Dobbins.
Well, you can
That would be my 4.
put those guys up, but the person who built that pyramid is Chick Harley. Just throwing it out there.
Again. Let's keep hammering at us.
Well, Larry understands Chick Harley more than anybody else here.
Yeah, he saw him play. Chick and Larry go way back. Yeah.
Yes, Chick Harley.
Sports Illustrated did a thing.
They weren't even playing with
Listen,
face masks
if-
at
hold
that
on.
time. It was a
Go
leather.
ahead.
If
Go ahead, Larry.
Sports Illustrated did a thing, if they had the Heisman Trophy from the very beginning of football, Harley would have won 2 Heismans and finished runner-up in the third year. That's the kind of
We're
player
talking about this century.
Right.
It would be called the Harley Award, the Harley Trophy.
No, not. I can't.
That's like saying Illinois saying, "Oh, our Mount Rushmore doesn't include Red Grange."
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I'll give you
Oh,
Red
you
Grange.
said 100
I'll give you
years
Red
ago.
Grange.
Or
Just,
Michigan say not Tom Harmon.
no, I give you
Right.
Red Grange just like Red Grange is Ohio State's
Well,
Archie Griffin.
Chick Harley did better than Red Grange. They were contemporaries, and Chick Harley was a better player than Red Grange.
Yeah, but Illinois hasn't had the history that like running back that Ohio State has. I mean, geez.
I will go to my grave saying Chick Harley. I'm just throwing it out.
We just lost all kinds of. Right.
It's not like it had
I'll
any.
be back when we get back to this.
It's not like it had any bona fides to start with, John.
How much time's left in this game?
Way too much.
I was going to say the Buckeyes need as much as they can get because they haven't stopped Michigan yet.
No, you got to rise up right now.
They need a turnover. This team does not.
They
for a
already
team that-
got one on the goal
For a
line.
team that's got 6 defensive touchdowns, they just don't really take the ball away a lot.
They haven't the last few weeks. That's the beginning of the first half of the year. They were doing that. They haven't.
Harbaugh's going to come out with the kickoff and he's going to run the ball.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah. At
And
this
I would
point-
too.
Sell out to stop the run.
At this point, he's just running the clock.
You got to sell out and stop the run.
He's going to go into a fetal position at this point. His quarterback's not going to put the ball
if
up.
I'm
That's
Ryan
almost
Day,
the only way Michigan can lose is if they turn it over.
Yep.
if I'm Ryan Day, I'm going to say, you know what? Your quarterback's going to have to beat me because I'm going to put guys in the line of scrimmage. I'm going to stop the run.
Right? Eight or nine in the box.
You
I don't
wanna
think
beat
it
me, throw
matters.
the
They
ball.
go right through that line like a bit of sieve.
Their linebackers are getting walled off.
So you got to go back to playing 3
Will
linebackers.
anybody ever win 2 Heisman's again?
Probably
There's-
not. And this year, Stroud, if today had gone differently, Stroud
See,
would have had a
and
shot.
when Johnny Manziel won it as a freshman, everybody thought, well, he might be a two. I guess, if a
You
freshman
did a
wins
story
it.
on that, John. Remember? And you said, well, the thing is, or somebody told you somebody who had won it as a freshman or sophomore said, well, when you set the bar that high, then
Yeah.
anything you do after that, it's almost like
Then you become kind of fatigued with that
Yeah.
name.
I think
It's like
that,
everybody wants who's the new best thing,
Right.
the new flavor of the month. They
Right.
don't want the same guy winning the Heisman more than once. But
To answer their question seems very unlikely.
unlikely.
If I'm a Heisman Trophy winner, I want to go make money as soon as I can.
Right.
Right.
You know.
so
I
you have to
mean,
win it as a freshman and a sophomore.
Right.
Right.
I want to make money playing football. That window is very small.
Yep.
All right. Well, defense gonna have to step up here.
Sell out and stop the run.
Well, that last drive, their quarterbacks made a couple nice throws. Though.
Yeah, he did.
That's a scary
Yeah, he
thing.
did.
Yeah, he's played way over his.
He has. He has. Played well to me.
All right.
I thought that early interception might
Hey,
spook
Mo
him,
Claret.
and it didn't.
Arch Leister. Good Lord.
Joel Payton.
If Art could have got one more against USC in the Rose Bowl, they'd won the national title.
Yep.
Yeah, we didn't even mention Mo.
There it is. Yeah. His
Thank God.
Well, his-
guy played 9.5
I was
games
gonna
in
say
his career.
his
for
body of
Pete's
work
sake.
wasn't great enough.
But his cars were nice.
His I mean, say what you will about him. His last carry was for the game-winning
National
touchdown in the
championship.
national championship game.
Claret's biggest play was a
Defensive
was a
play?
defensive
Yeah,
play.
when he
Absolutely.
took
After
it
the
away.
interception,
Yeah.
when he ran back and stripped the ball away.
Gosh, I could forget that night. Jeez. I wrote my game story like 12 times.
Didn't Rusty Miller lose his game story?
I
remember him telling about it. He goes, first of all, we're on top of the press box, so we're on
Yeah,
top of the
we were on
stadium.
the roof, which was nice. But the one place that didn't.
See, that's what happens when you run from the pocket.
Cade McNamara.
You have got to maintain
Getting
rush lanes.
getting your ass
When
kicked
you-
by Cade McNamara.
When you slide like that, right? It's
Where you start.
You
initiate.
started
Yeah.
the slides. So it's
Yeah.
going to be third down.
Yeah, there it is. They get a stop here. Uh-oh.
Oh, got him.
Oh, my.
Yeah, he's
and he's
offside.
there.
Nope.
Oh.
Yeah, they got him
Offside.
offsides.
It was offside.
Yeah,
Yeah.
offsides. It was a free one.
I'm kind of glad I can't hear the play-by-play very well because
Yeah.
Gus losing his mind for Michigan would really just drive a stake in.
You can ask Marcy. If I'm sitting home right now, I'm going, sound off. Sound off. Sound off.
Offsides on the defense.
I have muted Joe Buck and Troy Aikman more than any broadcasting combination in history during Packer games. Got enough. I'm done.
Who did it?
Two of them.
Two of them.
Two of them.
The freshman
Jeez.
and 22.
Steel Chambers.
Yep.
The freshman and the running
And
back.
the freshman whose name I can't pronounce. so I'm not
Desmond
gonna
would have
try.
caught that.
Oh, yeah.
That's a Desmond Howard
Yeah.
moment right
Yeah.
there.
And he'd opposed afterward.
Yeah.
I like that he had the wherewithal to take the shot knowing he had the
Right,
first down in his
right.
pocket. Look at that. 7 yards or 8 yards right up the gut.
Yeah. That's a killer.
He just.
That's not an overstatement. Either.
Yeah, there's just
But
not
there's
like
nobody to
that
clean
big-
up after they get through that initial.
Right.
Yeah.
They're
Right.
playing two linebackers that are undersized.
You got to get more.
You need
seat
three
on your
linebackers
pants.
on the.
You got to get guys on the field.
Now
Stop
their,
the
their
run.
defensive line is just getting destroyed.
Right.
Look at that. Why run any other play? If
Right.
you're going to
There's
get
a lot of
7 yards
single-
right up over the
there's a
center,
lot
then
of
just
single
keep
digits
doing
out
it.
Yeah,
there.
you got too many numbers out there
I
in
mean,
the teens.
too many teens,
You need
yeah.
more 70s,
Yeah.
60s.
Right.
30s,
That's the story of the game
30s
right there.
and 40s. You don't have any of those.
Right there, story of the game. Rushing yards.
Give me some guys whose pants don't fit well. That's what I got to have right
Some
now.
junk in your trunk.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Give me the guys who ate Thanksgiving dinner yesterday or on Thursday and had to change their
I
pants.
was going to say in sweatpants.
Oh, yeah. That's what we got to have.
This is kind of like watching Bianca Batuka. There's
It is,
nothing
man.
they can do about
Nothing.
it.
They are in rhythm. They're running how they want, and they're protecting their quarterback and not making him do too much.
Just coming full circle to what we said at the beginning of the year. Their defense sucks. It's not their year.
Right.
And they're number 2 in the country, and then, their defense.
It was fool's gold, huh?
Oh. I'm not ready to say it yet, guys. I know Larry threw him out a quarter and a half ago, but
Oh, turnover here in Michigan.
Yeah, you can need a big
That's
play.
what you're looking at. Need to make a
They need
create a
that.
turnover.
why is 14 having to make a tackle
He
2 yards
blitzed.
down the line of
So
scrimmage?
they blitzed
Well,
him.
he's
from,
and
blitzing
plus
him.
he's the bullet.
Ain't no bullet. That's like a blank.
Don't jump off sides.
Now
That's
the back to
interference.
interference.
Yeah.
Oh!
That's an uncatchable ball.
That's terrible.
That's a good call.
No,
He had his
Larry, you're
arms-
wrong.
he had his arms
Yeah,
wrapped
the
around
ball's
him.
not even there. Come on.
Yeah, he's hugging.
And Denzel's having a
I
bad
don't know.
game.
Does uncatchable exist in a
I
college
don't
game?
know, but that's just
He
BS.
didn't let him cut to the ball.
Yeah, that's true. He didn't let him cut.
Ah.
That's a good call.
And it was a terrible throw, though.
Yeah, it
Oh, yeah.
was.
No way he was going to catch it.
Who was that? Dallas.
You know, if you weren't all that junk on your legs, like that Michigan, what is all that?
Who's that?
What is that?
Did you see that Dallas DB on Thanksgiving Day? He got called four
yeah.
times for pass
Yes,
interference.
yes, yes.
It was like,
Yeah, you're fired, man. Like, I don't know what your contract says, but you're fired. After that type of
jeez.
If this was an away game, you're making your own way home.
right.
Now they got,
Running to the right.
It's the other quarterback.
yep.
No, ran
Is
to
there
the
anybody over there?
Yeah, they're all getting blocked.
Gosh.
There's your guy number 17. What's his name?
Shaw.
Yeah.
Bryson Shaw.
Bryson Shaw. He's like that safety the Browns had last year. What was his name? He was terrible. Said, shoot,
I
can't
know
think of
exactly
his
what you're
name.
talking about.
He was awful.
I could see them losing, but getting mauled like this, I didn't see that. I thought Ohio State would have to help them to lose, and that's not what's happening.
Well,
Michigan's
just-
just beating them.
Yeah, it's just a physical.
Yeah, I
they're
don't want
just
to
getting
hear
physically
anymore
beat
from
up.
Ohio State about working out year round in the weight room, muscling up, because you're just getting your ass handed to you right now.
They're trying.
Yeah, they're trying. The other team has scholarship players too.
There's Haskell the rascal.
Yeah, Haskell the rascal, get off a block for once. What are you, like an 8th year senior? Make a tackle.
backfield once today?
Jesus.
Oh, the fans turn on the team.
What have you done for
we're,
me lately?
we're about at that
In the
time.
last series.
Make a tackle. Nope, touchdown.
Six.
Yes, sir. And they're going for 2.
They go for 3.
Yeah. Why'd you go for 2?
Yeah, 'cause they can't go for 3.
Nah, why would you go for 2?
Why not? Because they can't stop you.
Well, that's true. Look how they got to be misaligned there, aren't they?
You get.
Why
He
did
could've-
he go-
They're
he
on
had
the
his-
goal line, and they have 4 down linemen.
That's what I was going to say. They almost looked like they're misaligned
Right.
there.
Everybody knows. And
That could not have been their goal line defense.
Have you guys seen a defense this bad from Ohio State?
oh yeah.
Oh, a couple
yeah.
years ago,
Yeah.
they were really bad.
2014 or 13, they were horrendous. 2011, they were horrendous.
Don't get Larry going now.
2006, 2003, 2001, 1999.
They're just
I don't understand the whole, X's and O's. You're on goal line, and you have 4 down linemen.
It's probably a miracle he's never lost a Big Ten game until now.
Jesus. I mean,
25 in a row.
well. This means they somebody's going to have to take the fall for this.
I'm telling you, the
That
whole defensive
staff is
that
gonna
whole
get
defensive
cleaned.
staff is going except for Larry Johnson. I'm not kidding. I'm not joking.
Except
it's
for the
his
D-line
group.
coach.
And, yeah, the D-line coach is getting destroyed.
Yeah, but
in this
he's
game.
got,
but
he's got a lot
he's-
of credit.
No,
yeah,
I agree.
his
I
body
agree,
of
but-
work is
yeah.
saving him.
I agree.
If he wants to come back, I mean, he's at that age now where you could say I'm walking, but everybody else is gone.
So what bowl game is Ohio State in?
I don't know, but whoever they're playing, I'm betting them early. Because Ohio State's going to have no motivation. in
Well,
that
but
game.
at the end of the day, I still don't think there's not many teams that's going to be better than Michigan is better than them up front.
Yeah.
That's what it comes down to. I don't think overall talent for talent, Ohio State's probably better, but up front, this is where the game is being played, and they're better. Like, they can do all the tricks you want up front. You can slant, but when the guys across from you are better, you're going, especially if they're running the football the way they are and they have a good game plan.
Now, the Rose Bowl isn't part of the playoff this year, right?
I don't think so. I think it's
So they would
Orange
go
and
to the
Cotton.
Rose Bowl. They're second
Well,
best.
the winner of the Big
I
Ten
know, but I
championship
don't. Well, the winner of the Big Ten championship game is going to the
game-
playoffs.
Well, if it's Michigan,
Right.
If it's Wisconsin, they would.
No, yeah. If
Wisconsin
Wisconsin,
go to the
if Wisconsin would up, no, I think they would. Rose Bowl would rather have Ohio State than
maybe,
Wisconsin.
maybe.
Yeah,
So we can lose to Oregon again.
but if
Yeah,
Wis-
so they
but-
can go and lose to Oregon again.
But if Wisconsin does beat Michigan in the Big Ten championship game, then I think
So the Rose Bowl wouldn't take Wisconsin?
Michigan would go
that's
to the
what
Rose Bowl.
that's what Spence's
I
arguing.
think.
then.
I
think
think
so?
they would take
because
Ohio
they would
State
want the
over.
most high-profile team.
Yeah.
That would suck if you were Wisconsin.
But that's
Right.
another thing. If it's Oregon, how many people really want to see a rematch
Right,
of that?
right.
You know, Ohio State and Oregon,
I don't know, but yeah, Wisconsin's got what? 3 losses or 2? 3?
3. They're
So
kind
Ohio
of a
State would
different
still have
team
less
now.
losses. They'd have 1 loss, 2 losses.
2 losses.
2 losses, and they're just a better, more dynamic team. I
Right.
think the Rose Bowl would take Ohio State.
How far would they fall? 8 or 9?
Not that, probably 7. Maybe they would. I don't know who's 8 right now.
That means they fall behind Notre Dame and Oklahoma State for sure. Oklahoma's only lost once, and they didn't get blown out like this.
If you're not part of the top 4, I guess it doesn't really matter.
No.
And then it comes down to the Rose Bowl, and if they don't go to the Rose Bowl, then they go to the
Citrus Bowl,
no. What's the other one?
Outback.
Outback.
Yeah, what's the citrus called now? Yeah,
Capital One Bowl.
yeah. I think they would go to that. But you think they really want to go anywhere
I know.
right now?
I
Except
know.
maybe the Rose Bowl would be okay as a consolation prize, but other than that, I don't think they would.
we're
like
staying
this-
home.
Yeah, let's just stay home. What'll be interesting now is what does happen to, we're talking about the quarterback room and being afraid of losing a couple of those guys. What does happen to Stroud now? Say he didn't have a great game again. It wasn't his fault.
Right, I agree. It wasn't his fault.
But if they don't win the Big Ten and they're going to and they don't go to the Rose Bowl, it's like I don't think he's guaranteed being the starter next year. Maybe they tell yours.
Yeah.
It's an
I was
open
going to say,
competition now.
That's how Georgia lost Justin Fields. They had Justin Fields, and they said, "Well, this other guy took us to the national championship game." Well, who was the better quarterback? It was Justin Fields, but they were loyal to the kid that took them to the national championship game, and it cost them Justin Fields.
So I think this opens up the whole
I
thing
don't know.
again.
Could be.
I don't know. I still think Shroud is really good.
I agree.
I do too.
This
I
is
don't
not
think.
his
Yeah, I don't
fault.
think it's really
This
his.
isn't his fault.
I just wonder what's.
Ohio State won a national title with Cardell Jones. And then they went back to him to start the next year. How'd that work?
Yeah, he was terrible.
That's true.
Just terrible.
I mean, they obviously don't want to lose the room, so you got to say stuff to guys to make them want to come back. And they could just say, "Hey, we didn't accomplish what we wanted to this year. We don't want him to be the fall guy, but at the same point, we want to open up this. We don't want to lose yours." And
That's what you
Oh boy! Now Olave shows up with 8 minutes left in the game.
Well, they finally threw the ball down the field.
Yeah.
I
first time
haven't had time.
It was just
still-
a 3-step fade. He got a chance to get rid of
there's
it.
still time. They just need to stop.
That is great
Yeah,
coverage, man.
I don't
can't believe
question
these
their
guys are being
ability to
covered.
score. I question their ability to
Well,
stop
Ohio State,
Michigan.
I score and I kick it onside
Oh yeah.
because I get no use. I get no trust in the defense.
Oh. He hasn't busted one today, has he? How did,
He broke the
I was gonna
tackle.
say, how did you lose?
He tripped
your
on the
feet
yard
on
mark.
that?
Yeah, he hasn't turned the ball over.
Right.
Right.
He's
it's-
26 for 30. I mean,
it's not
there's not a
on
lot of
Stroud.
downfield passing, but he hasn't had a chance to really.
Right. There is pressure right away.
So yeah, it's not really. And he's had a couple of drops.
Olave's had
So-
two himself.
You got to use the umpire. Get a screen.
I'm surprised at how they've shut down Garrett Wilson.
Right.
He just, other than that
Touchdown.
touchdown, it's like
I mean, they're all over, but like you said, they don't have time. They're all over the receivers. They're jumping the short routes.
First down.
That's a first.
man, Hutchinson's on every play.
He is.
He's having that kind of game.
Yeah.
What that game where Chase Young had 3 sacks?
3 or
Where was
something.
it?
Was it Wisconsin?
Wisconsin.
Wisconsin.
Can we not be on the same play?
Scrape him off the field. Let's go.
Yeah. That's a press box comment.
No, it's a sideline comment. That Browns-Bengals game was on the sidelines in 1980. First play of the game, the Bengals ran a crossing pattern with a tight end, and Tom Darden hooked him. I forget who the tight end was, but he was
Pat McAnally.
Pat McAnally. He's laying on the field.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting on the sidelines with the Browns players, and it's cold. And after about 5 minutes, they start yelling out, "Get him off the field!"
Yeah.
And Calvin Hill, grandfatherly Calvin Hill at that point, yells out, "Put a log chain on his ankles and drag him off. It's cold out here."
Calvin Hill.
I said, man, Calvin Hill's like a grandfather. And he's yelling this
What a
out.
great third down back he was. Oh my gosh.
Is he a Hall of Famer? Calvin
I
Hill?
don't think so. His son is.
Grant?
Yeah.
Is Calvin Hill in the Hall of Fame, Zach?
He is?
Yeah?
Calvin is?
He's not checking.
No, he's not.
He's not checking. Yeah, Calvin Hill, Hall of Fame.
Grant Hill, his son is.
Yeah, Grant Hill. Yes.
Yep. But Calvin's not.
I don't know. He had some great years with
Yeah,
the
but
Cowboys.
I think
Yeah,
he
by
would have
the
been
time
one
he
of
was
the.
a Brown, it was over.
He was no Dwayne Thomas. We didn't have Dwayne.
He would have been one of those borderline guys, but I don't think he made it. There's still time, Larry.
Still time.
It's going to be the greatest comeback, and
It would be. No, they flashed that graphic.
Oh, they did?
No team has ever come back from 15 down in the Ohio State-Michigan series.
in the
Ever.
fourth quarter,
Ever.
or just
Ever.
any
If you've
point
had
in
a
the game.
15-point lead at any point, that's ball game.
Oh.
Wow, that's
That
an
doesn't-
interesting stat.
Really?
Yeah, that doesn't seem.
I was reading some. I thought there was a game where Ohio State trailed 20-zip and came back, and I thought I was reading that
That
last
would have
night.
been the game that you were referenced earlier, but they didn't win.
Well,
Colasar beat them.
Oh, maybe that was it.
I talked to Jay. He was going to send you to the college football playoff, but the way you backed it today, you don't get to go up Ohio State.
Yeah. I don't want to go see it anyway.
Coming up next, Wisconsin, Minnesota.
see
like
that
anybody
Chrysler
cares.
Arena building? That's where the press conference is for the Michigan.
Jesus.
You got to walk over to the. Oh, I hate that.
But at least the press box is field level. I mean, no, not field
Right.
level. It's where you walk in.
Right.
Street level.
Yeah, but good luck trying to find your way there.
Calvin Hill's not in the
you're
Hall of
you're
Fame?
across from it too.
All right.
It's on the other side of the stadium, so you got to walk around the stadium.
and I never know which gate is. It's impossible.
At least you don't get locked inside the stadium.
Yeah. Well, that's happened.
Super
That
Bowl.
happened last time up there. Oh no! Every series they're looking at second and third and long. God, just too many mistakes.
Get up and go.
Yeah, the clock's
What
running.
is he
guys.
sitting there for?
Get up, you goof.
Third and 14.
What happened here?
Well, that's on Stroud.
They tried to pull it back.
Yeah.
What are you going to pull it back for? You're not going
I
to
was going to say he hasn't pulled it all year.
Just give it to him. Get
was-
out of the way.
That was too good a play.
Come on,
action.
Stroud. Rancho Cucamonga.
No way.
Just get what you can get. 4th and 6 now. 4th and 5.
Yep.
Ryan Day, you're about to experience Columbus,
I
Ohio.
was just going to
Right.
say, oh, we'll hang 100 on your ass.
Yeah.
Nice call.
How about you hang 36?
He never said that.
Right.
Right.
No way.
Right.
He did, John.
No,
He
never,
did.
He never said.
He did.
He never said.
I read that on the internet. He did.
That means it's true. Abe Lincoln told
Oh,
me
yeah,
everything on the
yeah.
internet's true.
Yeah.
Michigan's gonna burn them.
Oh, Michigan's worried on 4th and 7.
The only thing they're worried about is a player getting hurt in the mob that's going to rush the field.
Exactly. Guys, as soon as the game's over, go to the tunnel. Get off the field. We got a Big Ten championship game to win.
Tim Hinton in the middle of the huddle.
Yeah. Look at Rucker. Why am I even here?
You guys are going to throw
I
to me
can't
anyways.
block.
Well, I'm like
I've
an
been
8th
targeted once today.
I'm an 8th-year senior from New Jersey, for God's sake.
You throw it to me once today, you throw it behind me.
How
For an
about you
easy
throw it to me?
touchdown.
I could have stayed at Rutgers. I could have been a star.
I could have been somebody.
Stella!
Nicky! Bowserman! Mockerman!
Mockerman. Spence, you were the only beat writer that knew how to spell Mockerman.
Yeah, I was his only fan. Only one banging the drum for Austin Mockerman to start at quarterback.
Yep.
Austin, okay, here it is. Game right here. Touchdown. Buckeyes score right here.
Here comes a blitz.
24-yard pass.
Oh, first down. Oh,
Okay.
Pass interference.
hopefully it's not offensive.
No shot. Look at he's showing the hole.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got me. He's got me right here, man.
Tugging on
That's
it.
what Wilson's
Yeah, right
saying.
here.
He pulled my jersey off my shoulders.
Yeah.
Look at the hole. So like Stroud's made some big throws. Key third down.
Yes.
He made a big throw for the touchdown,
Yeah.
but I agree, it's not his fault. Their defensive line's getting their ass
28 for
kicked. That's his
39.
fault. That's
They have 2 more touchdowns if they weren't just running the ball to even taking all the time as possession. What a catch.
They got to score and kick onside.
yep. See that their last touchdown drive was 15 plays. Michigan's just playing this perfectly.
Right. Absolutely.
No big plays, no explosive plays.
Oh,
There
no.
is- Shoo. You're right though. This is where a quarterback that could run could really help them. That's why they've had a lot of trouble in the red zone.
Well, he can run. He just chooses not to, he says.
He can run about as much as Dwayne Haskins can run.
Come on, he's
He's
better,
better
than
than that.
Haskins. Come on.
That's
Haskins
holding.
couldn't do that.
There
you go.
That's holding. It's coming back anyway.
Look
Touchdown!
at that. He's breaking tackles and everything.
Oh, yeah.
So what do we got here? 2nd and 20?
Yeah,
Right.
second and 20.
Second
Gives
and
a
20
hole.
from the
Another
30.
holding call.
Yeah.
That hurts.
Yeah. Now he knows.
They can't.
That's why Michigan didn't bother
Yeah,
tackling.
exactly. They're like, it was in the backfield.
Go ahead and run, Stroud. We'll catch up with you.
78. Boy, he's having a terrible game.
Pettit Frere.
Yep.
Yeah.
He is just. It's not his day.
78.
Has Michigan been called for holding at all today? Man,
Doesn't seem like a lot. you
that's
know.
that's pretty ticky tacky. The kid fell down on his own.
That's a football version of a flop right there. He
Yeah.
got, he got hooked by the neck and just dropped. And they had made him call it.
And the Oscar goes to
Yeah.
3rd and 20.
Maybe he can play for Mount Union next year.
Who's that?
Whoever dropped that ball.
He's going to be playing in the NFL
Right,
next year.
exactly.
Oh, yeah, that too.
It won't be for Mount. Yeah. Unless Mount Union.
And Mount Union's undefeated and still playing.
Are they?
Yes.
I was going to say, I haven't heard much about
They're
them
in
this
the
I
year.
know they got to the
Second
semi. I know they won their first one.
They're playing Johns Hopkins
Johns
this
Hopkins
weekend.
today. Yeah.
Johns Hopkins.
Let's go!
There's
4th
Garrett.
and 5 again.
Yep, there's my 15, 4th and 5.
I'll just throw it into the end zone. You guys are wasting a lot of
We
time.
need to hustle up to the line of scrimmage.
Where is the? That's what I mean. Like
There's
that's
no
a
urgency.
A lot of clock going
There's
on.
no sense of urgency at all.
How about Ruckert? Maybe? Ever? No! Really?
He's lucky.
Touchdown!
That should have been picked.
Right. That's what I
Hutchinson
was
should have
thinking.
picked that, and that would have been the capper to his
Could
game.
have. He easily
He was
could
going to
have.
New
Come
York.
on, Spence, get with the program. We scored a touchdown.
Man,
2.5.
Not yet.
not
Going
yet.
for 2 puts you
Not
out
yet.
of the game.
I think he.
If you don't get it.
You got to kick the extra point.
Kick
You
this
kick
one,
it
yeah.
onside.
He goes to New York if he caught that one, for sure.
Shoot.
Onside.
I'd onside it because
Nah,
they
you
can't
Defense
stop
can't
him.
stop.
You got to
Yeah.
kick.
They'll never get the ball back.
Right.
No.
You got to kick. You got to kick it.
Hutchinson's like, man, I could have had that ball.
Yeah, you got to kick it.
Hutchinson became a legend today.
No, you got to.
He
You
was an
What?
All-American
Can you-
before today.
you
He
gotta
became a
kick.
legend
Could you
today.
imagine if you picked that ball off?
got to kick it and use
3
your timeout.
sacks and a game-sealing
You got to kick it
interception.
deep.
Jeez.
Yeah, you got to kick it deep. Use your timeouts.
John, what would your lead be right now?
They can't stop him though, Zach.
Yeah, but you.
What would be John Spencer's lead right now?
Hutchinson.
Ryan Cooper or Ryan Day's honeymoon in Columbus came to a crushing end.
Well, you got to write that.
25 in a row, and he's got to go.
You know what? Earl Bruce had same thing. He did not lose a Big Ten game till the last game of his second year. He lost to Michigan. Ohio Stadium booed him as he left the field.
So there's the lead. 1/25. Period. Next round.
My lead would be Ryan Day, Bears on line 1.
Justin Fields would like to talk.
Unbelievable. Oh, man.
Jeez.
Yeah, if he was taken aback by the blowback he got for losing to Oregon, he ain't seen nothing yet.
I don't think the average person knows how many leads you write in your mind during a game.
No, I know.
You know, I covered a basketball game last night. I wrote 8 leads before the game was over.
You had
I
to-
used none of them when I actually sat down
Wait,
to write.
Clear Fork, they're loaded, aren't they?
Yeah, I didn't. They have some opportunities.
To do what? Lose by 26 and only scored 25 points?
Well, the problem was last night their biggest guy is 6'1".
Like that base of the captions for the posters, like 10 players in Lexford, double digits, minutes that is.
Oh, I did like that.
1.4%.
That wasn't the lead I was going to write, and then I got home and I put out the stats from Bob Jarvis, and I goes, wait a second, 1, 2.
Yeah, I
Holy
like.
crap! They had 9 guys play more than 10 minutes.
Yeah, I like that lead. 10 guys in double digits.
When you score 51. But like I said, Alexa's got guys 6'7", 6'7", 6'3".
Clear Fork-
First guy's 6'1".
But you said Clear Fork's got 4 freshmen and 3 seniors,
They have 4
Hey,
sophomores.
Zach, are we going to announce who won or just notify them online?
so it's going to be kind of a
Okay.
rebuilding year for them.
We got a few people in here. I'll message them after, and we'll get that stuff away.
Here we go.
But high school basketball in November means literally nothing. 'Cause,
I guess.
you know,
It's hard to get into this.
Or December.
Is there anybody playing tonight?
I don't know. I don't think so. Hard to believe anybody play a game tonight.
There it is.
When does Mansfield Senior open?
They don't open until next weekend.
They get an extra playoff week.
Was Clear Fork, some of their guys football players? Is that why
I
they're slow to run
don't
on
know.
the form?
Art Sleeser scored 13 touchdowns. If he'd had 14, they'd been national champions.
Here we go.
Got to be on side.
They are. They're lined up like, well, maybe not. Now
You
he's
can't
going the
kick
other way.
this deep. You're not going to get the ball back. Kick this deep, it's game over.
Yeah, they got to onside it. I mean,
Kick it deep, game over.
That's what they did.
Game over.
oh, jeez.
No,
They haven't earned any trust
No.
today.
no, they've done nothing to earn trust.
Holy smokes.
Man, oh
Plus, you
man.
let them run the kick.
I was gonna say
You
they-
might as well kick that on
Exactly.
They got the ball up to 38. Jesus.
Yeah, that's a tough play.
Best running back we had since Colorado, right?
No.
Dobbins.
Dobbins
Yeah,
is pretty
Dobbins,
Dobbins
Ezekiel
was
Elliott.
good. Zeke Elliott was good.
Running backs are never a
good.
problem.
Floretta's
Ohio
gotten
State.
better over the years.
Oh, yeah.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
It's like his legend grows and he does nothing but time.
He did time.
I know, that's what I mean. See, there you go.
There's your D-line
That's why
right
you
there.
can't kick the ball deep.
You got it.
Just ridiculous.
But again, their mistakes wouldn't look that bad if there were linebackers there
Right.
to clean up.
Right? Eichenberg missed that tackle,
I
but
mean, they're
even
just
that was
not
7
there.
yards downfield.
Yeah. Once you get past that first level,
Makes me wish for Storm Klein.
Storm. Oh, there's a Storm. Jeez.
Who are those three linebackers that used to be running backs came out of
Wow, this guy has 4 touchdowns today. I didn't realize that.
That's a day.
Start with a B.
He's picking his hole.
Oh yeah, there is no penetration.
No resistance whatsoever.
It's like 6 yards, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah, they're never getting the ball back.
No.
That the onside kick was their only
That was
move.
so stupid.
That was their only move.
Kerry Combs is on the headset saying, "Ryan, kick it deep. We can stop him. I promise."
We're gonna demote you again.
I was gonna say, who is this again?
Yeah.
Carry who?
Yeah.
I thought I demoted you in September.
Good luck at Wilmington next year. Click.
Didn't I send you up to the press box?
For a reason.
Why are you talking to me? Yeah, just pound her right at the middle.
That's it. They could
And
sit
they
on it.
just shove them forward for
Yeah.
3 or 4
It is.
more
This is
yards.
Biaka Batuka, man.
It is.
You just take
This
what
is-
you want.
This is that movie where Billy Jack looks at the guy and says, "I'm going to kick you with this foot on that side of your head." And you know
There's not
what?
a damn
There's
thing you
not
can do
thing
about it.
one you can do about it.
Billy Jack. Now we're quoting Billy Jack. Can we go back to Chick Harley?
These linebackers are getting absolutely killed.
It's like wiping his mask off because he's tired of running.
I know. I got Buckeye leaves in my
Yeah.
face mask from running over people.
Yeah.
Kurt's over there. I knew there was a reason I don't watch much college.
Hey, Kurt,
Are you
got the game you
entertained now?
want?
It's better than 59-0. That's all I'm saying.
So if Minnesota beats Wisconsin, then
Iowa's-
Iowa goes. It's a terrible Big Ten
Iowa
championship game.
beats Michigan, and it's in the Big Ten final.
Big Ten's out of the college football playoff unless it's since
For sure.
Yeah,
Yep.
Michigan will be.
Michigan
in.
wins next week. They're in the playoffs. Can you imagine
Can you
that?
imagine Cade McNamara's not a playoff quarterback?
Look at
Look at
that.
that.
There's a touchdown.
Good God.
Yeah.
Oh, they were just trying to kill the clock, and they've just gone
Yeah.
70 yards.
Yeah. We're just running up the middle,
Yeah, I had a
get
guy.
a couple of first downs and punt. Oh, you're going to let it score? Okay.
I had a guy arguing with me on Facebook last week when I took a shot at the Ohio State defense. I said they're really not any better. He goes, "Have you been watching college football at all?" It's like, do you really think they're any better? They're not any better. They just played a bunch of bottom feeders.
Yep. They're going to give up 40 points to this outfit.
Yep.
They got so many issues to deal with on defense. It's like I don't even.
If I'm Michigan, I think I'd take a knee.
That's what I was saying.
It's victory formation time.
Not
That
218.
just-
Why?
Yeah.
At
Well,
218.
That's the thing. They just let them score so they could get the ball back. I would have taken a knee. Make them
That's
use their
his fifth?
timeouts.
His fit for Haskins, embarrassing.
Wow. So he's had a
Biaka Batuka
Kenneth
day.
Walker game. Didn't Walker have 5 against Michigan? I didn't realize he was.
They're
Look
just
at
they're letting them score.
Yeah, they
They're-
must be.
They're not. Nobody's.
They are.
I mean, I really can't tell the difference.
I was gonna
between
say.
that and their normal
I was
defense.
gonna say that's a problem. You really
Right.
can't tell
No.
this from their real defense.
He just set a series record, 5 touchdowns in a game. Nobody's ever done that.
Yeah.
Not even Biak Batuka.
I really do think, as bad as Ohio State's defense was today, that one of the keys was Don Brown not being there as defensive coordinator. That's the only thing that really worried me. This young defensive coordinator that he took off his brother's staff with the Ravens. I thought,
Yeah.
man, Don Brown was so outclassed the last 2 years. It's like
He's my brother.
their defense shows up.
He's sick too. He is sick.
Yeah, why don't they show the Buckeye nut or whatever?
yeah.
Where's he?
They are sick.
He's crying
it's,
in the.
it's so similar to the Oregon game. Oregon just dictated
Right.
all game long.
And I'm telling you, I still say I don't think Ohio State's offense played awful. I think they just didn't have as many opportunities as they normally do. But their defense just
got overwhelmed on it. I mean, they lost the line of scrimmage too. They
big time. Really, on both sides of the ball, they didn't run it effectively either.
No, they got beat up in the trenches.
They did. All right.
It's like this is how Michigan must feel like Ohio State did in '94 when Cooper finally beat them. It's like, thank God, you know. I
Right,
mean, you'd
just
think
the
by
relief.
happenstance you'd fumble on one win.
Yeah, now I get a chance to hear from all my family. I haven't heard from them in years. Been hibernating forever. Now they're coming out of the woodwork.
Yep. Now they're chirping. Is that Braxton Miller?
I was
they
going to
just
say,
showed?
we're showing Braxton Miller highlights.
Well, they're probably going to show Courtney Avery's interception.
There it is. Oh, no.
No, that's not it.
Courtney was 11, wasn't he?
Yep, they didn't show it though.
I think we all thought that INT was a little bit bigger than everybody else.
I thought ABC was going to go. We'll go down to the field to Larry Phillips. He's got Courtney Avery.
He's the only one who's got Courtney.
Our sideline reporter, Larry Phillips, is on to 50.
Under a pile of Wolverines.
That was his best post-game effort since the Fiesta Bowl when he won the title and he had to hand out
Oh,
new
my
shirts.
gosh. All of a sudden, there's
Yeah. Archie
Archie holding one up. And I get up the next morning. I'm in the restroom in my hotel brushing my teeth, and I've got the TV on. And a guy from ESPN, I think it was Corso, was holding up a
news
a
journal
news
front
journal. I'm
page.
like, what the heck is
Yeah.
going on?
If people had any idea that a circulation guy named Dave Milligan
Yeah.
came up with that idea.
Yeah.
And Larry's taking a rickshaw
I
from
know.
the
I
parking
came this
lot
close to
to
say,
the-
you know what? I ain't dragging these things 2 miles to the state. Because you park forever and a day away. But there was a rickshaw there, and he hauled them. Thank God.
And then to get into the stadium, the guy goes, "This is tight security at the national championship game. Well, if you give me a copy, I'll let you in." It's like he could have been loaded. He could have been packing an AK. It's like, give me a copy of that souvenir program. I'll let you through. I gotta pass these out. Oh,
Okay.
okay. Jeez. And I'm up on the roof of the stadium, and everybody's got an overhang. It was beautiful up there. I mean, we each had our own TV set, beautiful accommodations, a buffet line for food, and everybody had an overhang but me. So I'm thinking, if it rains tonight, I'm screwed. Literally, the only spot that didn't have a roof.
You're in the desert. You would have been all right. All right, what do we got to do? Got to throw a touchdown pass?
A couple of Hail Marys.
Recover the onside kick and then throw another touchdown
Well, they won't
pass.
kick it
and
onside.
then get the 2 points.
They won't
first.
kick it onside. They'll probably kick it.
Yeah, they'll kick it deep. Our defense will hold them.
Oh, we're going to get sacked.
Hutchinson? No.
Nah, that's the other guy.
No.
Jeez. Thanks for showing up, offensive line. Remember going into the season, they were the number one rated offensive line in the country.
I don't really understand what they did. They took their 2 tackles and then they put their 2 backup tackles in the same
Yeah.
line. And
Right. Called them guards.
Yeah, I don't know.
But some were calling it the greatest offensive line in school history. I'm like,
No, it's just the heaviest.
I don't think the greatest offensive line in school history gets their doors blown off in Ann Arbor by a team that hasn't beat them in 10 years.
I remember Hicks getting beat like this off the line.
No, or Pace, or Corey Stringer.
Yeah.
rest in peace.
Yes.
Who are these guys?
That's the defensive
Oh,
end that
that's the
just
defensive
sacked the
end
guy.
that just made the sack.
There's no need to watch any bowl games.
No. College football season ended
Today.
This is it, yeah.
So-
We're done.
This is a nice warm up for tomorrow night, isn't he? When the Browns beat Lamar Jackson.
You think? I think they're going to get swept.
You think?
It's just not the Browns.
4th and 18 is kind of a big play here.
I'll take the Browns win tomorrow as a sacrifice.
Absolutely.
Ohio State's offside again. I don't know if
Come
they call it.
on.
Oh my gosh!
There's
You
3
block
guys
him for a
rushing.
second.
Still
Oh
not a
my
first
God.
down.
Jesus.
That's going to do it, folks.
I don't. Are all the offensive line graduating, moving on?
I
hope
don't.
so.
I don't know.
No.
They couldn't block me.
No, Paris Johnson's back. Dwan Jones is back.
Pettifreur could be back if he
He's
wants
back
to be.
if he wants to.
Well,
be.
he ought to. 'Cause
It's
he's
just
not-
about everybody's back.
Yeah, this is not something you want to put on your NFL tape.
Right.
Spence, those guys couldn't block me today.
Yeah, I think Nicholas will be back next year, based on this performance. Harbaugh, are we winning?
What, are we ahead?
Are we?
Are we going to win? Oh, my God. I'm not going to get
They
fired.
didn't just win; they blew them
Oh,
away.
yeah.
They
beat their ass.
They dominated, really.
They beat Ohio State's ass.
Harbaugh, can I get my regular pay back now? Do I get a pay raise instead of a pay cut?
First time they've been to the Big Ten championship.
Can I
game.
at least get a pair of new khakis?
Yeah. Jeez.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us. If you stuck in here this long, you deserve more credit than the Buckeyes. That's for damn sure. We'll notify you folks who commented about your prizes, and there's some nice prizes here. Sorry this wasn't more fun, but we're probably not going to do this again if this is the result. I will say this: you folks kept me on my best behavior in pretty pitiful conditions.